Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put two dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coon. The white man to go nuts if he cash you. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
Queen.
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
I'm
Queen.
getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
Queen.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your daily vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so let's get ready to get into it. I apologize for being late. Okay, I apologize for being late. Now, with that all being said, I knew I forgot something. I forgot to send out the emails with the link. Okay, so I'm going to do that in a second. But in the meantime, in between time, let's see who's in here. All right, Pearly, Deronda, Nene is here, Lady E. All right, Juju B is in the house. Reggie is here, Claudette, Jeff ATL, Desmond, Panther Strike, Motated Bronze Flat Power God. All right, let's get into it. Mel. Okay, so shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen, and a big shout out to my moderators because y'all know they be putting in work. Okay, Jamon is here. All right, Matt is in the house. Okay, so everybody hit that like button. Don't forget to double check and make sure that you're still subscribed, especially if you have not been receiving your notifications. All right, Queen Sam is in the building. Okay, so let's get into it. Before we get started, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes Hair Oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts, and you can also find it at Walmart.com. And she does have beard oil for men. Okay, so with that all being said, let's get into it. All right, we the people just made it in. Okay, so let's get into it, honey, because first of all, how many of you have seen the video that Charlie Kirk's wife, Erika Kirk, posted with his corpse? Now, that raised some concerns because people were saying things like, oh, his hands looked like they were painted. His skin looked yellowish, like he had jaundice, which we know that that's not something dead people get. But sometimes there is discoloration due to embalming and the things that they use, the chemicals and whatnot. But it just looked real strange. But also, even more so concerning than that was the fact that she was just kissing on his hands and talking to him. And I mean, that's all fine and dandy. But I just have questions as to why she was doing that publicly. Why was she doing that publicly for all to see? Why did she post that video so soon, after he passed away? I don't think it was a whole 48 hours. And then she gave that speech, and then she's posting this video. It seems like an agenda. Now, that's just my opinion, but it seems like there's an agenda going on here. It seems like narratives are being pushed and painted. I mean, you have Trump immediately coming out after the shooting and then saying that it was the extreme left. Okay, the leftist extremists and all of this. And then you have Charlie Kirk's wife giving the speech where she talked about, you have no idea what you've unleashed. Now, to me, that sounded like a thinly veiled threat or a dog whistle or both. I don't know what you all were thinking about it all, but also now we have Elon Musk coming out calling for violence, and he's been condemned by the British. So let's talk about that. British politicians have condemned him quickly, and then not even just Elon. Before Elon, you had Jesse Waters, okay, from MSNBC. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. From Fox, from Fox, okay, talking crazy, all right, talking about violence. And then you had these men chanting, Caucasian men chanting, white men fight back. Well, fight back for what? White men have always fought back. I've never known a time in any history of anywhere in the world where they didn't fight back. I mean, these are the same people who took to the Capitol January the 6th to cause a whole insurrection simply because the election didn't go the way they had hoped. So these people are always willing to fight back, are they not? So I don't even know what that was all about. Sounds like they're trying to call for civil war. Sounds like they're trying to spark or, ensue or encourage violence. And I can't help but think that they'd like to have people who look like me involved in it, even though we had nothing to do with it. Because another thing I noticed is that Charlie Kirk's wife kept saying they. Who is they? There was one person who fired the deadly bullet that took him up out of here. And also, I mean, when they're talking about they, are they talking about the left? Are they talking about the Democrats? And if so, we all know that many people equate Black people with the Democratic Party because they think that's what all of us, if not most, okay, most of us, if not all of us, tend to vote for. That's the party we go to, right? And so, honey, this is all getting real crazy. But I'm going to go to the video of Elon talking crazy, okay? I don't know what's gotten into him. First of all, he seems like he's just trying to incite violence himself, but why? What does he even have to do with this? And second of all, when he came out talking about Trump and him being on the Epstein list and all that, which I already figured that, didn't really need Elon to say it. But the fact of the matter is Elon was just best bros with Trump not too long ago. Now, because they fell out, he wants to come and talk about him being on the Epstein list and start divulging things. But that makes him look bad too, because you knew about this, supposedly, Elon, allegedly. And if you knew that he had something to do with Epstein and was on that list, you were hanging out with him. So that means that you're okay with whatever he and Epstein were in fact doing. Does it not? So now, because you and him have fallen out, you want to come and try to spill tea. No, don't go there. Okay, don't go there, because he was all down for it when they were hanging tough. Okay, that's what he was doing. Now let's talk about it, because Elon, what are you talking about? Okay.
Violence is going to come to you. You will have no choice. You're in a fundamental situation here where whether you choose violence or not, violence is coming to you. You either fight back or you die. You either fight back or you die. And that's the truth.
Elon Musk said to this crowd that violence is coming and you either fight back or die. This isn't just some skinhead who they've imported from somewhere in the country. This isn't just some thug who's been knocking around far-right politics in this country for the last 20 years, whinging into the middle distance. This is Elon Musk, the world's richest or second richest man, who has control of possibly the most important political website and distributor of political information anywhere in the world, turning up at a far-right rally, basically, I would argue, you could very credibly say, inciting violence in this country, saying that people in this country have to fight back against whom, where, with what, or you die. This is the sort of direction that we are being pushed. I believe very strongly most people in this country have no desire to go there or look at it or have any interest in that sort of invective or that sort of rhetoric. And yet we are being pushed and pushed and pushed towards it. We are the proverbial frog in the boiling water in the jar.
Okay, this is all crazy. I mean, what is he up to? All right. But here's what they say about it. This was reported just an hour ago. Musk language was abhorrent, says Home Secretary. So Home Secretary Shabana Mahood said language used by Elon Musk when addressing a rally on Saturday was abhorrent. Okay, speaking over a video link, the tech billionaire criticized uncontrolled migration, later adding, whether you choose violence or not, violence is coming to you. You either fight back or you die. So he also said there had to be a change of government in Britain and that there should be a dissolution of parliaments and a new vote held. Responding to his comments, Mahmood said, whether you're a hostile state or a hostile billionaire, no one gets to mess with British democracy. She added that the vast majority of people would react to Elon Musk's words with a shake of the head. Liberal Democrats leader Sir Ed Davey has also criticized Musk, telling the BBC that he doesn't use language sensibly. He's deeply irresponsible and deeply dangerous. Now, earlier on X, a social media platform owned by Musk, Sir Ed had said British democracy was too precious to be a plaything for foreign tech barons, adding that Elon Musk doesn't care about the British people or our rights. He only cares about himself and his ego. Yeah, he's just like Trump. That's why I knew that their bromance wouldn't last, that they would eventually fall out. Okay? So Musk said Sir Ed was a craven coward. More than 150,000 people attended the Unite the Kingdom March in London, organized by far-right activist Tommy Robinson. Around 5,000 joined a counter-protest organized by Stand Up to Racism. So speakers at the main protest expressed anti-immigration sentiments and spoke in favor of freedom of speech. As part of the event, Musk had a conversation with Robinson during which he made his controversial comments. Musk said, I think there's something beautiful about being British, and what I see happening here is the destruction of Britain. Initially a slow erosion, but rapidly increasing erosion of Britain with massive uncontrolled migration. This is a message to the reasonable center, the people who ordinarily wouldn't get involved in politics, who just want to live their lives. Now, they don't want that. They're quiet. They just go about their business. My message is to them, if this country or if this continues, that violence is going to come to you and you have no choice. Now, asked about his comments in Parliament, Mahmood said Britain was a tolerant country, and yes, we are a diverse country. You can be English with roots that's stretched back 1,000 years, but you can also be English and look like me. Now, earlier, a Downing Street spokesman echoed Mahmood's comments, saying that the last thing the British people want is this sort of dangerous and inflammatory language which threatens violence and intimidation on our streets. So he's not only trying to start BS here in the United States, but also in Britain. Why is he concerned about what they're doing and how they're doing it? I don't think the British people will have any truck with that kind of language, and rightfully so. Now, asked if the government would review its use of X, the spokesman said government communications were always kept under review. Now, the Liberal Democrats have called on the government to rule and awarding contracts to Musk Tesla company, which produces electric vehicles, batteries, and solar panels. Now, speaking to Newsnight, Sir Ed said he was talking about Elon Musk, has applied to Ofgem for a license to sell and distribute energy in this country. They are the sorts of things they should look at. Now, he also said that he would encourage people to leave Musk's social media platform X, but that he would be staying, saying the Liberal Democrats were calling him out on his own platform. Now, taking questions at a press conference on Monday, Reform UK leader Nigel Farage was also asked about Musk's language. He said there was a degree of ambiguity in his words, but added that if the fight that Musk was talking about was about standing up for our rights and free speech, if it was about fighting in elections to overcome the established parties, then that absolutely is the fight we're in. Musk had previously expressed support for Farage and had reportedly been in talks over donating money to the party. However, earlier this year, he appeared to cool on the idea, saying Farage doesn't know what it takes to lead a party. Okay, I just want you all to pay attention because it seems like they're trying to start a civil war. That's just what it seems like to me. I don't know what you all are thinking. What do you all say? Because all these people talking about violence and you're going to learn and talking about retaliation and avenging debts and all this stuff. This is all a whole lot. Okay, this is all a whole lot. And it definitely sounds like this is what they're trying to instigate. Now, meanwhile, there was a 63-year-old man who was arrested at Charlie Kirk's vigil. Okay, this was reported by CBS. I'm going to go to the video. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Kirk vigil on the South Shore appeared before a judge today. WBZ's Courtney Cole joins us in the studio now with video of the arrest. Courtney?
Lisa, 63-year-old Christopher Lennon is accused of yelling at people who were holding a vigil for Charlie Kirk in a public park in Plymouth. And here's the moment he was taken into custody.
Take him. He's disorderly.
Now, before the arrest, Lennon had apparently worked his way into the group, causing them to stop their vigil because of his yelling and screaming. Police were seen on camera telling Lennon it was his right to express his opinion, but asking him to stop yelling and screaming. The police say Lennon continued to yell, and the group of vigil goers started to move toward the suspect. That's when police took him into custody. Now, Lennon appeared in court today, where he was charged with disturbing the peace. Lisa.
Now, I want you all to pay attention to something because, this whole thing that's going on after Charlie Kirk's death is very interesting because the main people that are saying things, negative things about Charlie Kirk are people who look like Charlie Kirk. The main people causing a ruckus and getting into mischief, okay, are people who look like Charlie Kirk. I want you all to pay attention. How do you think that makes them feel? Because they were so hoping that we would indulge in it, that we would be out there causing chaos so they could have a reason to try to start mess with us. But it looks like they're the only ones concerned about it, okay, because we're not. Okay, I just want you all to pay attention. At the end of the day, it is their own people. Now, let's talk about Ted Cruz. So Cruz says that he's erasing evil by painting over anti-Charlie Kirk graffiti on a Texas highway. Well, isn't that nice? Is he going to get out there and paint it himself, or is he going to get the people in jail to get out there and do it for free? Okay, Senator Ted Cruz said Sunday he was erasing evil by painting over an anti-Charlie Kirk graffiti on a highway in his state. Some deranged bastard put this graffiti on the 59 freeway in Houston. Texas DOT has been notified, and I'm sure they will remove it expeditiously. I knew he wasn't going to remove it. That's what I did know. Okay. Cruz said this in a post on the social media platform X. He said, but in the meantime, Texans don't have to look at this hateful garbage anymore. Now, Cruz's posts feature 2 photos of himself, one where he appears to begin painting over graffiti that reads, F. Charlie Kirk, and another in which he is standing next to where the graffiti was, now covered with white paint. Listen, I'll guarantee you he didn't paint that stuff. He probably went there for a photo op. If you all remember, back in 2020, when I was reporting on the Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and George Floyd debacle, do you all remember this Caucasian woman that got out of one of the sites where there had been looting because of the protesting and all that stuff? And she got out of her Mercedes Benz, walked up to one of the buildings pretending that she was going to help to fix it because there were people out there volunteering to do work or whatever. And she goes out there and someone takes a photo of her and she goes and hops back in her car and leaves. It was just a photo op. And that's likely what Ted Cruz was doing too. I'm sure he didn't paint a darn thing. Probably went there, picked up the paintbrush, made one swipe, somebody took the picture, and then after the other people finished painting it, he showed another picture. That's what I think. Now, I could be wrong, but I doubt it. So in a follow-up post, Cruz featured a video of himself in the process of painting over the graffiti, captioning it "Erasing Evil." Now, Kirk was speaking at an event Wednesday at Utah Valley University when he was fatally shot. Following a manhunt, okay, we know the rest. So with that all being said, it just sounds to me like Ted Cruz is just trying to get some brownie points, perhaps, from Trump, okay, or the rest of the people that loved Charlie Kirk. So on Friday, New York Times White House correspondent Maggie Haberman said President Trump and staff around him were struggling in the wake of Kirk's death. Struggling for what? Trump was just at a game dancing to YMCA. I literally showed you all the video last night. If you missed that video, please go back and watch. Now, when you see him trying to dance, because he clearly wasn't, just pumping your fist, I don't know what kind of dance that is, but that's what Trump calls it. But anyway, if you look, if you listen to it, you'll see that I swapped out his song, okay, the YMCA, because I didn't want to copyright issues, and I added my own song. But Trump was clearly sitting there dancing, having the time of his life. What does she mean they're struggling? Struggling with what? Certainly not making it through another day. And then let's not forget how the reporters came up and said to him so nicely and so concerned, Mr. Trump, how are you now that, your friend, your good friend has passed away? He said, oh, I'm fine. And by the way, they're doing construction on the ballroom in the White House. So it didn't seem like he was struggling to me, is all I'm saying. They say so many people around President Trump are very close to Charlie Kirk. President Trump was very close to Charlie Kirk. And President Trump faced 2 assassination attempts, one near miss last year. Yeah, we heard about it. Okay, like, girl, sit down somewhere. At the end of the day, they're not struggling. Okay, some of them may be, but Trump sure isn't, at least not as far as I can see. And I can see pretty damn far. Okay, please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, let's talk about J.D. Vance. I knew he'd come to use in this whole scenario. VP Vance hosts a Charlie Kirk show as memorial for conservative icon Nears. Okay, so they have him hosting the show. That should be a laugh. And then there's more people getting fired for saying greasy things about Charlie Kirk. Well, I tell you, freedom of speech just isn't free anymore. So Cobb County schools are investigating educators over posts celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. You know what's interesting about that? Why the hell? Somebody please tell me if you can explain. Why the hell are they investigating people over comments about his death? Now, I could see if someone was threatening to do something to him, prior to his passing or whatever, and they were investigating that, because that would be a cause for an investigation, definitely. And I do not condone, just so we're clear, what happened to Charlie Kirk, because I believe in freedom of speech, okay, as long as you're not calling for violence or anything like that or whatever. But I believe in freedom of speech. And even though I don't like the speech that Charlie Kirk used, well, he was perfectly entitled to use it as far as I'm concerned. Okay, because I have a few choice words for him and people who think like him as well, too. All right, but with that all being said, they say the Cobb County School District is reportedly investigating after parents reported social media posts made by district employees that appeared to celebrate the death of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk. Let me tell you something about white folk. They will absolutely go through hell and high water to get somebody in trouble when that person does or says anything they don't like. This is what happens. I want you to pay. Everybody's snitching now. They literally have a whole gang of them on TikTok going around from post to post trying to see who's saying anything disparaging about Charlie Kirk so they can try to get the people fired. Okay, but anyway, let me continue. So, in a statement, the district called the post unprofessional and disruptive, stressing that they do not reflect the professionalism of the vast majority of Cobb educators. Officials said additional complaints were received from within the district itself, with fellow educators condemning the behavior as inconsistent with the duty that teachers owe their students and community. This doesn't have a damn thing to do with what teachers owe their students and community. Teachers can say whatever the hell they want as it pertains to their opinion about a person they didn't like. They should be able to say whatever they want. And here's the thing. If you don't want your child to know that that's the way they feel, then keep your child off the internet, okay? Or ask the teacher to block them. That's all you got to do. It's not that hard, okay? But they want to try to tell people what to do and what to say. Okay, that's how that goes, all right? And they're trying to make Charlie into something that he never was and will never be. Professional educators are expected to exercise sound judgment and professionalism in and outside the classroom. Okay, that's what the district said. Posts that celebrate or support the murder of an innocent person, by a school shooter are unprofessional and disruptive to the school environment. Well, he was innocent. He was only guilty of talking trash and being disrespectful and divisive and, racist. So the district confirmed that employees involved have been placed on administrative leave. While on leave, they will not be in classrooms or interacting with students or parents. This sounds to me like they're trying to appease these parents, because if I were the school, I'd say, listen, teachers are supposed to act professionally when they're in the classroom, when they're on school property, and when they're on duty. But whatever they do after they leave here, as long as it isn't something vulgar, profane, or something threatening, whatever they post on social media pertaining to their opinions is fine with us. Okay, that's what I would have told them if I was the superintendent. But let me continue. So they say Cobb officials said a full investigation is underway and that the matter will be referred to the Georgia Professional Standards Commission, which oversees educator ethics and licensing in the state. Disciplinary action, including possible license sanctions, may follow. And let me tell you something. If I were one of those teachers and they tried to sanction my damn license because I wanted to celebrate or say whatever I felt, which was my opinion, I would absolutely be suing them. I keep telling y'all that y'all better learn how to take these people to court, because a lot of stuff they do is not ethical and it's not even right. And they know it. But if you don't know it, they're not going to tell you. Okay, so here's a full statement from them below. Cobb County School District has been informed by parents about social media posts made by Cobb employees appearing to celebrate the death of Charlie Kirk. Now, there are incredibly rare instances and do not reflect, or these are incredibly rare instances and do not reflect the outstanding professionalism demonstrated by the vast majority of Cobb educators daily. Additionally, complaints about these posts have been received from Cobb educators stating these behaviors are inconsistent with the professional duty educators owe their students and the Cobb community. We could not agree more. Professional educators are expected to exercise sound judgment and professionalism. Okay, so I'm going to skip all that. Other employees fired or suspended. Children's Healthcare of Atlanta said Friday that they fired an employee after learning about a social media post with expletives. So you can't curse. Okay, gotcha. All right. So Delta Airlines, which is based in Atlanta, also suspended several employees for their post about Kirk. Additionally, there have been multiple reports across the country of people being suspended or fired from their jobs because of comments made on social media. Karen Attia, who was employed by the Washington Post, was reportedly fired for speaking out against political violence. So what? And America's apathy towards guns. She got fired for speaking against political violence? That's really weird. She worked for the Washington Post. Now, NPR says it has compiled a list from news reports of 33 people who have lost their jobs or are under investigation as of last Friday. They include firefighters, members of the military, a sports reporter, an employee of the Carolina Panthers, and a city council official in Indiana. These are people with good jobs. Additionally, MSNBC analyst Matthew Dowd, a former Republican and political consultant to former President George W. Bush, was fired after making comments on live television. That's the man we saw the other day. He's the first one that got fired. He was the one that was saying basically Charlie was divisive and spreading hate or whatever. So anyway, on Friday, the FBI announced that the accused shooter had been arrested. Okay, so y'all heard that? Honey, people are getting fired left and right. Honey, this is all crazy. This is all crazy. That's why you can't have everybody on your social media. Those teachers working in Cobb County, why they let the parents of their students or even their students know what their social media accounts are is beyond me. Okay? It's beyond me. Mama Joyce said, Queen, I thought MAGA said they hate cancel culture. They do. Until it's something that they want canceled. That's how that works, beloved. That's exactly how that works, honey. Please pay attention. It's all a hot mess. Now, with that all being said, let's go to Charlie Kirk's wife with this weird video with his body.
I love you. I love you. God bless you.
Unhinged. Unhinged. Did you see this? This is absolutely unhinged. Erika Kirk posted a video of her kissing his dead hands in his open casket. Unhinged. When my brother died after a motorcycle accident when he was 20, and we had to go to the funeral home to look at his body and his makeup because we had open casket. It was my mom, my grandma, and I. Well, after I passed out. You know what I wasn't thinking about? I wasn't thinking about taking pictures. I definitely wasn't thinking about posting pictures. I was grieving. I didn't even know what was going on. And I am almost convinced that this is all part of a plan, because he wanted to go down as a martyr, and they are trying to incite a civil war. How many parents have shared online pictures of their kids' little dead bodies after they were gunned down in a school? We should release the video, because I'm sure there's video footage in Minnesota of the assassination and attempted assassination of the lawmakers there, because obviously people saw what happened in Utah, and so I understand that there's going to be a reaction after so many people saw it happen. But maybe that's why there's not a reaction for the lawmakers in Minnesota, because they didn't see it. But I'm sure it was identical to what we watched in Utah. This is unhinged, absolutely and utterly unhinged. It is disgusting. And you know, she posted that fiery comment and that really the press conference, I don't know what it was, basically a call to action that if you loved Charlie and you are a young person, do what Charlie would want you to do. And then she posts this. It's dangerous. It is dangerous. It's shameful. It is absolutely shameful.
Okay, so you all hear that? What do you all think? Is it shameful? I mean, it is just extremely weird to me. I'm like shocked that she even, had the wherewithal to do something like that, especially so soon after his death. Okay, and I'm gonna tell y'all something else that I've noticed too that was weird for me. When JD Vance and the rest of those people were carrying Charlie's coffin, his casket, it looked like it was kind of short because Charlie was about 6'3", about 6'3" or 6'4". And that coffin looked a little short. I don't know what was going on with that, but it looked crazy to me. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to show some video footage of what people have to say about all of this. And here's the thing. As I said, it is mostly people who look like Charlie that are talking negative about him and that are also going in on his wife for showing that corpse. I don't know what that was all about. And as far as the lady talking about the Minnesota couple, those politicians who got shot up in their home or whatever, let me tell you something, honey. We didn't see anything about that or even hear much about it because the Republicans, the GOP, they swept that under the rug real quick. That's what they did. Trump didn't even go and, he didn't even speak to Tim Walz. Okay, the governor, he didn't even speak to him. He talked trash about that man, okay, when all of that was going on. Now, right, he probably didn't even call the family of the victims. So they just really tried to sweep that under the rug because they didn't give a damn. But they want everybody to give a damn about this. I don't think so. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go to another video, and we'll be talking about Romeca, Romeca Meeks right after this.
Who did the body? White people, if you're watching, us black people have an old Negro spiritual saying or question that we ask when we lose one of our own. Who got the body? Who got the body? Who did the body? Who's doing the body? Because it is very important when one of us passes away that they get our skin tone right. Oftentimes when one of us passes away, the makeup comes out gray. It just don't be right. So after we ask what happened to the person, how did this person pass away? Our next question is, who got the body? So I ask of you, my white friends, who in the hell did his body? Why are his hands orange? And I'm not trying to be insensitive to what happened or to the subject at hand. Clearly, she posted this shit being performative, so we might as well perform about it. There was no reason on God's green earth for us to have to see this other than she is sending a message and she is trying to enrage their following to do something in his name. And while we're here, let's talk about how she said that she told their children that daddy's at a business meeting with Jesus and they're picking blueberries or some shit like that. Yeah, so one day the kids are gonna be like, I don't want no fucking blueberries, I want my daddy back. So that was a bad idea. Secondly, it could have been a teachable moment because unfortunately death happens. None of us are promised to live forever. So it's a teachable moment to teach your children what heaven is if you're a Christian. Teach your kids about right and wrong, good and bad, and teach your kids if you put out bad in the universe, comes back to you tenfold.
Okay, so I'm going to show you something really, really strange about Erika Kirk's Wikipedia page. It has been nominated for deletion. No, well, the editing is protected, which makes sense, you know, as of recent reactions to the situation. But the editor has nominated this article for deletion. That's freaking disturbing. That's really disturbing. You want to know something even crazier? On the Brave browser, if you look up Erika Kirk, look what comes up. It doesn't say this right here for any other person who's alive. And even the people that are dead, it shows like a death date, but no person who's alive has their birth year with a dash next to it. I didn't think that was weird until I saw the Wikipedia page was marked for deletion. Someone's screwing with the stuff. These people are evil. We're in a war. I don't think this is a mistake because no one else it shows this on. You can back me up on that if you have the Brave browser.
Adding up. Erika Kirk's behavior is not adding up for me. I didn't know this chick. I knew Charlie Kirk. I joined TPUSA in 2021, and I know Candace Owens. I know the Daily Wire. And Candace Owens, who is a black woman, which is why it makes me so mad when people call Charlie a racist, her and Charlie were best friends, and she's more distraught, more angry, more grieving, more determined to get to the bottom of this than his wife, Erika, and has spent this entire time to be a TPUSA ad and Trump propaganda. And I hate to say it because I'm a conservative, I'm a Christian, I think he was killed by Israel, he was killed by Trump because he wanted to talk about the Gaza. And he got paid big money to promote the Trump administration, who is now under Netanyahu's control. And they killed him for it. And I think she knows. This is so weird.
Y'all heard that? She said, and they killed him for it, and she thinks the wife knows. Well, let me tell you something. That doesn't sound too far-fetched to me. Now, I had to mute something that she said, okay, as to why she felt like they did it. And she didn't say the Epstein files. She talked about what was going on over there in Gaza. And that's what she said. Now, I want you all to pay attention to that, because I told you all days ago, the first day that it happened, that I thought it was, or the next day, I told you all, I thought it was very interesting how Benjamin Netanyahu came out and spoke on Charlie so quickly, and in fact had announced it over in Israel before Trump even did over here, like 20 minutes after he was shot. So I definitely think there's something to what she may have said. Okay, so anyway, with that all being said, let's continue. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. I'm going to show this next set. This next video is a pastor speaking on Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk did not deserve to be assassinated. But I'm overwhelmed seeing the flags of the United States of America at half-staff calling this nation to honor and venerate a man who was an unapologetic racist and spent all of his life sowing seeds of division and hate into this land. And hearing people with selective rage who are mad about by Charlie Kirk, but didn't give a damn about Melissa Hortman and her husband when they were shot down in their home, tell me I ought to have compassion for the death of a man who had no respect for my own life. I am sorry, but there's nowhere in Bible where we are taught to honor evil. And how you die does not redeem how you lived. You do not become a hero in your death when you are a weapon of the enemy in your life. I can abhor the violence that took your life, but I don't have to celebrate how you chose to live. I am overwhelmed.
Okay, so you all heard that. I absolutely agree with him. Okay, I agree with everything that he said. They are doing too much and expecting others to go along with the same thing they're doing when we didn't feel that way. And as I told you all previously, there are many Black people who didn't even know who this man was, never even heard of him, but they want us to feel pathetic. He didn't have any empathy and sympathy for George Floyd, did he? What about Trayvon Martin? Charlie Kirk didn't have any empathy and sympathy for people that look like me that lost their lives. He talked very nasty about them, from Dr. King to George Floyd, okay, and all in between. So I have nothing nice to say about him. Now, I won't disparage him, but I'll just speak the truth of him. He was a racist, in my opinion. Now, with that all being said, here's the thing. I'm going to play a clip with some more people speaking on Charlie Kirk before I go into the Romeca story. But the bottom line is, it seems like something is brewing. There's something big coming, and everybody should be prepared and paying attention because they are up to something. It sounds almost like they want an eye for an eye. It sounds almost like they want something to happen to somebody on the left, like what happened to Charlie. That's what it seems like. Everybody talking about all this violence. You know, Jesse Waters, avenge his death, retaliation, and all this, and fight, white men fight, and fight or die. All this craziness. You don't know what you've unleashed. All of this talk just sounds like people trying to ensue violence. A civil war, perhaps? Let me tell you something. If there is a civil war, it had better be between them, because we don't have anything to do with it, okay? We don't have anything to do with it. Mel said, Queen, so much hate. Exactly, okay? Make it all make sense. But the rest of them, some of them are running around online reporting Black folk because they don't like what we're saying. Report yourselves, okay? Because they're not saying a lot of nice things about them either.
So, y'all, I just got finished listening to Erika Kirk's addressing the nation about her husband, Charlie Kirk's assassination. But as I was listening to her and the words that were coming out of her mouth, I pick up on like small details. That's something that I love that about myself. I thank God for giving me that trait. I'm listening to what she's saying. When she said they try to silence him, his mission will continue to go on. Who is they? When she says they, who is they? Because she said it numerous times in her speech. They have already captured the assassin. So, supposedly, this 22-year-old kid, Tyler, is the one that did this, right? So who is they? Who is trying to silence him? And this goes back to my conspiracy theory mindset. John F. Kennedy, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and so on and so on. And this is what happened to Charlie Kirk. I'm just saying, like, these were hits from their very own. I'm just gonna say it like governmental. I just don't. When she kept saying they, how is it they when we have the assassin in, you know what I'm saying, arrested? I don't know. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong, but I know, like, my mind don't play tricks on me. But that lady kept saying they, and that lady know what the hell's going on, because she don't believe that that kid did it either. She know what we don't know. But y'all know what to do. Get in the comments. Let's go. But yeah, Erika say they. Mm-hmm.
Did y'all hear Erika Kirk's statement? Charlie Kirk's wife? It got the internet talking right now. Bruh, she didn't really sound like a widow that's grieving. This shit came off as like a rally speech. He said they won't silence him. But hold up. Who is they? The news and everybody else reported on one shooter. So why does it sound like she's talking about something bigger? Now, I'm not saying it's a psyop. I don't know. All I'm saying is people online is pointing out some crazy shit, like how fast they did the funeral or how fast this statement came out. They also said the tone felt aimed at the movement instead of the family. And that's why people asking these questions. Was this raw emotion or was this a crafted message? Was she speaking as Charlie's wife or was she speaking as a leader in the movement he built? I'm not making no claims. I'm just pointing out what people are noticing. And I'm not gonna lie, it's making me raise my eyebrows like The Rock. So what do y'all think down below in the comments about her speech, about everything, about the funeral, everything? Go listen to it if you haven't listened to it, and then come back and let me know. Do y'all think it's something bigger going on? I need the thoughts down below in the comments.
I'm sorry. Charlie Kirk's wife is terrifying? What the And first things first, what she said about her daughter was very sad. Anyone should find that sad. Her kids having to deal with that, the way all this went down is messed up. But also, all your Charlie Kirk becoming a martyr concerns, all your retaliation concerns, all your this like emboldening the conservative Republican Party. She said, "You right, you ain't never lied. We about to turn up in this bit." It was just scary. And it was also scary that a lot of what she was saying was, I want to say intimidation, but really she was just like, his legacy will live on through me, his kids. Like, she's going to do that. I'm just going to say the women that have stood behind men that do terrible things historically in America, and yes, I'm including slave history, can be especially terrible. The wives of slave owners, the wives of some of the most terrible men that you've heard about can be especially terrible. So her looking into the camera like that and saying that she wants to uphold his legacy is a lot.
Okay, so you all heard it. At the end of the day, it absolutely is a lot. And you see, people are not believing some of the narratives being pushed out here. Some people don't even believe that Tyler Robinson was the shooter. Okay, some people don't even believe that he was the shooter. And I myself have a few questions. I'm still stuck on how Benjamin Netanyahu knew so quickly and got that information and then announced it over in Israel. And then, why Trump was the one who confirmed Charlie's death. Wouldn't you all have thought it would have been his wife, Erika? Why would it have been Trump? Like, that literally makes no sense to me. Okay, but anyway, let's talk about it. Let's get into the talk about Romeca Meeks. Actually, her name is Romeca Meeks Blackman. Okay, that's a little tidbit of information we didn't know right away. So now they're coming out with other information, such as her and Holly have different names. Her name is Romeca Meeks Blackman, and Holly's name is Quadida Johnson or something like that. But anyway, I want you all to pay attention, because here's the thing. First, I'm going to go to this video, this news report, where they had the balloon release with her family. And then we got to talk about all the crazy stuff that's been going on with this story, different narratives being painted, so many different stories. But we're going to hear from the witness who was there on the scene, and she really, told what happened, but it doesn't sound like that's what the police believe, because if they did, I don't know why Holly is out of jail. Now, that doesn't mean that she won't go back to jail, okay, because sometimes they charge you later after they finish their investigation. So keep that in mind.
are here to support an amazing baby.
Anybody want a marker?
Hurt, sadness, and broken hearts are expressed on this board for 31-year-old Romeca Meeks Blackman.
I am broken. I am so broken.
Surrounded by family and overwhelmed by grief, Tina McMiller says she's heartbroken after losing her daughter to gun violence. Friday night, many gathered in Inglewood to remember a woman who was loved by many.
The love she showed everybody. Y'all showed it all.
On Monday, Meeks Blackman had just dropped off her son at school near Cermak Road and State Street when police say the victim was involved in a physical altercation with another person. The offender then took out a gun and fired it, hitting Meeks Blackman in the face. She was rushed to Stroger Hospital, where she died.
I ask that you give us strength. Give us strength, Father, for every one of us, because we're going to need it in this moment.
Hundreds of pink, white, and silver balloons sit outside of Inglewood STEM High School. Her mother said she was a kind, loving, and sweet mother. Now she's left with raising her grandson.
I need y'all to pray for my baby. Yeah, we will. We got him. He has sat down. He don't want to be around nobody.
Chicago police say the person taken into custody after the fatal shooting has been released without charges. Her family is eagerly seeking justice. Romeca, also known as Big Meeks, was soon released among thousands of other balloons. Reporting in Inglewood, Sade Gray, CBS News.
Okay, so very sad, and we still don't have all of the information and answers as of yet. Now, before I get into it, let me just say this about Charlie Kirk. They have not had his funeral yet. That guy in the video, he probably thought that because he saw, I guess, JD Vance and the rest of them with the casket, and because of the video that his wife posted. But they are talking about the funeral arrangements like 4 hours ago. There was a report came out about that, which I'll cover that tomorrow. Okay, so with that all being said, let me just tell you all what is going on. It is all so crazy and very nefarious. So some people have come out and said that Holly, the killer, they've come out and said that she was the one being bullied, and that's why she had a restraining order against Romeca. Now, I don't know if that's true. I really don't believe it. Okay. Second of all, there's been no proof or no evidence to substantiate that any of these people, in fact, had restraining orders. The family hasn't shown one that Romeca had, nor has Holly shown one that she had against Romeca. They said Romeca had one against Carlos, but I don't even think that she did because Carlos had their son that morning. At least now that's what they're saying. So let's get into it. They're saying that on the morning that the incident happened, which was September the 8th, they're now saying that Carlos and Holly had Romeca's son with them, and that they took him to the school, and that Romeca came to the school to drop off his lunch. Now, some people said that sounded strange that she would bring the lunch. Why not the people who dropped him off? But I would imagine that because she was always preparing his lunch and leaving him those nice little notes each morning or day, that's likely why she took his lunch, if that is even true. Okay, there are some things that I can't confirm. So with that all being said, here's something else that I thought was interesting. There is some guy that appears to have just come up out of the woodwork. His name is Quadri Sanford. Now, he's supposed to be a friend of Carlos's. When he first came out, he started posting a bunch of derogatory stuff about Romeca and trying to paint narratives of her being an aggressor and her being a bully and all of this, but yet he said he loved her. Now, mind you, he first said that he didn't know Carlos. Then he came back and said that he hasn't seen him in 5 years. So if you haven't seen Carlos in 5 years, where did he get all of this footage that he's been posting, which I'm going to show you? And also, how the hell does he know what's going on between Carlos, Romeca, and Holly? How did he know what was going on if he had not seen or spoken to Carlos in 5 years? This seems to me, now this is just my opinion, but this young man seems to me to absolutely be a friend of Carlos's and someone who Carlos is getting to paint narratives, to change the story, okay, to make it appear that Romeca was the problem and not Holly. So let's get into it. And I'm going to show you all some, I don't want to forget anything. I have a lot of receipts. So I'm going to show you all these things in an order that best helps me to not forget anything. Okay, so first I want to go to the screenshots that I have. Okay, so let's go to the screenshots. And here's another thing too. They're talking about Romeca's family, that their whole family is like gangsters. Like they're all bullies. Like if you touch one, you got to touch them all. They're all going to come for you. They're like saying that's why Holly was scared of Romeca because of her family is about that life. And that basically that's why she got the restraining order. But here is a text that supposedly is supposed to show that her family can get it done. Okay, if they have a beef with somebody, okay, at the end of the day. Now, somebody sent me this. I forgot exactly who posted it, but here's what it says. Some of it's redacted. It says, I will pull up, but y'all play police games. And then it says, okay, if I put on, hold on, if I'm not on no funny-ish, why you can't take a pic by the car? Okay, or dumb, I have no problem sending it along as long as y'all got proof. Now I don't know what they were talking about sending. This person, this is kind of hard to read because it's a little blurry. It's not a good screenshot apparently. But anyway, basically they said I have no problem sending it as long as y'all got proof. This my child we talking about. Okay, so then somebody says, because I'm at work, because I'm at home, that crib is 15 minutes away from my crib. I just know Avon because he used to F with my cousin while trying to buy her Ussy with a P, and I heard the allegation, so I came forward. If he was closer, I promise I'll do it for you, but honey, that's just a little too much. I'm not trying to waste no time at all. I want you to get your child back, but I also need the 250 to send. I'll make 200, send 200, and I'll get out my bed right now. Send 200, and I'll get out my bed right now. Okay, send you proof and the address. Okay, so, and then it says something about giving me gas money. So I don't know what this is all about, but it sounds like somebody's trying to get somebody to do something to somebody, and they're saying, send me the proof or whatever, and I got to make sure you're not on no funny-ish, and then the other person's like, okay, well, if you send me the money, I'll get out my bed right now, but I'm going to need gas money too. Okay, and so I don't know what that's all about. Hold on, so now, also, Romeca's family came out and said they have these fake GoFundMes out there that they absolutely did not put up. So don't contribute to any of those. And then here's someone, Dejanay Reed said, I seen the second video from the school's camera view. It shows mom driving off, then BD's, which is baby daddy's car, pulling into the school. Then she pulled back inside the parking lot. When she seen them, she should have left. Instead, she tried to initiate a fight. I'm concealed carry myself, and sorry, I'm not finna de-escalate nothing. There's no law that says you need to try and de-escalate. If I feel threatened, I'm going to use the force I paid for and put the training to use. Okay, nobody is to be effed with. Okay, so this person says they saw the camera footage from the school and they saw Romeca pull out, the baby daddy pulled in, and then she pulled back in. Now, I believe that, and here's why. The reason I believe that that's possibly true is for the simple fact that in the video that happened, that was posted the day this all happened, and I'm not going to show the video because it had Romeca, the blood, and all that stuff. But in the video that I did see, it had the truck that Carlos was in. It was a black truck. It had that like blocking, obstructing traffic or whatever. And then it had Romeca's white car, which I believe is a Kia, even though some people said that her family said that she didn't have a Kia, but she clearly does, because there's another video that I happen to have seen. I don't think I have that video. I just may, I'm not sure, because there's so much. But there was a video that I saw where Romeca pulled up on Carlos, and she was sitting in that same white car that's at the scene where she lost her life. Okay, so here's the thing. Her car was behind Carlos's truck. And also it looked like it was behind Holly's car too, I believe. Her car was the last car, is all I'm saying. Now, with that being said, that would make me believe that she absolutely did pull back in behind them, perhaps. Okay? But now here's the thing. If that's the case, I'm not understanding how they said that Carlos and Holly dropped off the son. Because if they had the son, well, they were, oh, this is another thing I forgot to tell you guys. They were in two separate cars. Carlos and Holly were in two separate cars, which further piques my suspicion. Because why would they be in two cars if they're going to the same place? Okay. Now, when Romeca pulled in, I'm not sure if Carlos was outside already or inside, taking the son inside. But some people are saying that they took the kids to school and she brought the lunch. I don't know if that's true. Take it with a grain of salt. But what I will say is, Romeca pulled in behind them from the looks of it. So with that being said, I'm gonna go to what the witness has to say. Oh, hold on. Before I go to what the witness has to say, because you all let me know if you want me to play the whole audio of the witness, okay? Here's the thing. Let's talk about this guy, Quadri Sanford, who's been posting these disparaging things. Now, this guy, what I thought was interesting about him is that I'm going to go to his Facebook page, because this is what I thought was interesting. He just came up out of the woodwork as far as I'm concerned. Hadn't heard anything about him for days, and all of a sudden there he is posting stuff. Okay, so let me just share my screen. You all see this? Now, this is his Facebook page called Big Boss Cash. Now, he posted this, and here's what he said. He posted this 19 hours ago, which will make it yesterday. He said, from the beginning of her explaining, she sounded like she was from the beginning. She lost me when she kept saying, but then again contradicted the whole statement, because now she was getting off the 21st Street bus and heard screaming. This girl don't know what happened. You can't start at the middle and say you know what happened. Now, he's clearly talking about the witness. Because right here it says, eyewitness speaks out in Romeca case. This changes everything. Okay, so then this is what he posts. And then he says that the witness didn't know what she was talking about, because if she was getting off the 21st bus, he said she couldn't have been there from the start. And so how could she tell what happened if she got there at the middle of it? So that's one thing he was doing. It's like trying to make us feel like the witness isn't credible. Okay, and that Romeca is a bully and that she was the aggressor. And also he was straight up defending Carlos. Okay, now with that all being said, here's another thing. On this Facebook page that he posts often on, he posted the other day saying to go to his other Facebook page. He said, follow my second page. Here it is right here, September the 12th. I'm back, y'all. Click my second page. So when I clicked the second page, this is what I saw. Quadri Sanford. Okay, that's the page. This was September the 7th. Now, what's interesting is because before he posted on September the 7th, he had not posted any damn thing since, I want to say, it was, I think, back in May. He literally hadn't posted in months, like his page was deactivated or something. But now all of a sudden he's posting the day before Romeca dies. On September the 7th, he posted stuff about Romeca being an aggressor. And I find that very strange and interesting. But also, when I reached out to him to let him know that I thought that was interesting, here's what I saw when I went back. Let me share my screen again, because I wanted to ask him about some of the things he was saying, because I didn't believe it. Now, here's the thing. if you all can see this, okay, I'm going to go. Hold on. Let me stop the share real quick. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to the other Facebook page instead of trying to find it while I'm on this one. Okay, so I'm going to go to his second page. Now, this is what I saw. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Now, this is what I saw that I definitely thought was strange, specifically after I said that I thought some of the stuff he was saying was lies and he was trying to paint a whole narrative. Okay, look at this. This is his Facebook page where he was posting all the negative videos about Romeca. But funny thing is, none of that stuff is on here now. None of that stuff is on here now. And you know why I think it isn't on there now? Because when I let him know that I knew that he's trying to paint a false narrative and that I don't believe anything that he's saying, and that also this makes it further look like premeditated murder, like a whole setup. Because why would you all of a sudden, if you haven't posted in months and Sundays, all of a sudden you're posting September the 7th about Romeca being the aggressor, and then she gets killed on September the 8th? Well, that sounds like y'all were planning something. That's what that sounds like, and like y'all were trying to have an alibi. But also, here's some of the stuff he posted. This is a post from Romeca from May of 2023. Now, it says, honestly, yes, because despite how our relationship turned out, he is an amazing father, like a real good-ass dad. He gets his son, takes care of him, teaches him like they are best friends, and I wouldn't replace that bond for nothing. My son has an amazing father, and I'm so grateful and thankful and all 10 toes down for his kid. Now, with that all being said, why would he post that? Well, because he's trying to let it be known that Romeca was speaking highly of Carlos and said that he's a good father. Okay? That's what he's saying. But what he didn't talk about was this. Yeah, Carlos. Okay, June 26th of 2023. Arrested. All right? Arrested. Resisting police officer or aiding escape. Domestic battery, bodily harm. Yeah, because they say he used to beat up Romeca. Annual gun offender registration. Okay, so that would explain why him and Holly were likely in two different cars on the day that they went to the school, because Holly had the gun in her car, because witnesses say that she went to her car to get the gun. He, having been in trouble with the law, and he's probably a felon just looking at these charges, but he's an annual gun offender and he has to register. You have to register for this, I think, like annually or whatever. Well, definitely it says annual. So you have to register for this every year. So with that all being said, he's probably not supposed to be in the vicinity of a gun, which is why he was likely not in the car with Holly, but in his own vehicle. Okay, please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, here's another thing that was posted. He posted this. Romeca Meeks was the aggressor and the second baby mama was released. Now, why would he be so interested in posting that? And then he posted this where Romeca supposedly said, I don't feel sorry for ish I did to anybody. F you be, you lucky I ain't smoke you. Now, I don't know if Romeca posted this because it's two pictures on here. Now, you all let me know what you think, because there's Romeca right there. And there's another person right there that kind of looks like Holly to me. Somebody with blonde hair and false eyelashes. Okay? So with that all being said, I don't really think Romeca's the one that posted that. Maybe she did, I'm not sure. Okay? So with that all being said, let's continue because it gets even worse. So now here's the thing. You're going to hear from the witness in a moment, but here's the thing. The witness was talking about she was on the 21 bus. And then the guy, Quadre, says that she couldn't have seen and heard all of that because she got there at the middle because she was on the number 21 bus or whatever. Another thing that he's been saying is that this didn't even happen at the school. He's like, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. And I'm going to play that audio. But he said it didn't happen at the school. He said that it happened at Carlos's house. And then he posted a video where Romeca had popped up at Carlos's house, but that couldn't have been the day of the incident because that was at night. It was dark. I'll show you all of this. But he basically was trying to imply that Romeca is just off the chain, off the hinges, just reckless and violent and all of this, and that she would randomly just pop up at Carlos's house and acting as if Romeca's the one who couldn't take no for an answer because Carlos had moved on. That's what he said. Now, the interesting thing is, like I told you, he said that this didn't even happen at the school. This happened, he said this happened down the street from the school at Carlos's house because he says Carlos lives literally by the school. Well, I think it did happen at the school because the person whose post I just showed you, Denasia, and that's why I showed you the post, she said she saw the view from the school's camera. Okay, so it had to have been at the school, but also woman fatally shot in South Loop. Offender is in custody. Okay, Meeks Blackman had just dropped off her son at school near Cermak Road and State Street when police said the victim was involved in a physical altercation with another person. The offender then took out a gun and fired it, striking Meeks Blackman in the face. Okay, so even here it says that she was at the school, had just dropped off her son, okay, at school near Cermak Road. Okay, so now with that all being said, if we go to the witnesses, what the witness said, because the witness said that she caught the 21st bus or the 21 bus. So I looked up the 21 bus to see where that bus goes to, the route of that bus. I typed in what is the route of the number 21 bus in Chicago. And here's what came up. It says Cermak. Okay, it says Cermak. So why is this important? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Because that's the bus that the witness says that she was on. And this right here says that the school was near Cermak Road. And that's where that bus that the witness was on was going. So when this little lying dude by the name of Quadri Sanford, okay, and yes, I'm calling him a whole lie, when he says that the girl doesn't know what she's talking about, I think he's the one who doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay. And this is what it says also. This is what someone posted. So as it stands right now, Quadaja Johnson, which is Holly, okay, will not be facing any charges in the unaliving of Romeca Meeks. And to correct some things, Quadaja didn't drive from Wisconsin. She was already at Carlos Loso Way's house. Okay, they were dropping Romeca's and Carlos's son off at school. Romeca was supposedly bringing her son his lunch and saw Quadra and began attacking her. Well, that's not what the witness is going to say. So are y'all going to believe these random people posting or the witness? Okay, we'll get to that. Quadaja had an open order of protection against Romeca. Romeca was the aggressor. They fought Quadaja. Quadaja shot Romeca. She was arrested at the scene but was released thereafter. The key words that were said at the scene and to police: I feared for my life. According to reports, the case is closed and no charges filed for now. This was a bad situation for everyone, lifting up everyone involved. Okay. I don't think that's what happened. I know that's what's been said, but I don't think that's what happened. So now let's go to some footage so we can get into the real receipts. So first off, I'm going to play a video of Romeca's aunt. And this is like shortly after the incident, what she was saying. Okay, and then we're going to go to the videos, some of the videos from where Quadri was trying to paint Romeca as the aggressor.
But the baby is doing, y'all want to know how the baby, he got this bell that his mama gave him. That what made me cry too. And he holded that bell so tight. I don't know what was that, a donut or a dog or something? Yeah. It's a little dog. Yeah. It's a bear dog. He's 6. And he wondering, his first thing is asking where his mama at. Where his mama at? Where's mama at? mama at? That mama pick him up from school. That mama make lunch. That mama send notes. That mama take that boy on trips. He was a mama's boy. So, he gonna need a lot of prayer. A lot of it. But, I'm about to...
Okay, so that was just people checking on the son and asking how he was doing after his mother passed away. Now, this is a couple of videos, like I said, from where the guy is trying to portray Romeca as the aggressor.
I destroy this bitch. Every window, even the top. I bust the motherfucking windshields out. Why did you lie? Why did you lie? Why did you lie? I ain't whooping shit. You know I want. Ain't. You know I ain't. I don't fuck with you no more, and I destroy this bitch. Every window, even the top. I bust the motherfucking windshields out. Why did you lie? Why did you lie? You want to keep lying? This how I feel when somebody keep lying to somebody. Why did you lie? Tell me why you lied. Tell me why you lied. Why did you lie? Why you lie so much? Why do you lie so much? I'm talking to you. What? Talk to me and I'll throw it down. You want to keep lying? This how I feel when somebody keep lying to somebody. Why did you lie? Tell me why you lied. Tell me why you lied. Why did you lie? Why you lie so much? Why do you lie so much? I'm talking to you. What? Talk to me and I'll throw it down. You want to keep lying? This how I feel when somebody keep lying to somebody. Why did you lie?
Go with your with your mama. Don't leave your son out. Now this up, this off. Come on, Ricardo.
If I see that twin around you, I'ma drag her ass.
Get the fuck away from me.
Okay, so now with that all being said, these videos are old at the end of the day. And what it looks like to me, and I want you all to pay attention because this is what it looks like to me is Carlos is giving these videos to Quadri for him to post them. I'm pretty sure that's what he has done. I don't think Quadri's going to post anymore because now he's deleting them quickly because it looks like premeditated murder. Okay, why are you posting stuff September the 7th and this lady's killed September the 8th? I find that more than coincidental. But with that all being said, here's the thing. They're trying to paint Romeca as the aggressor, posting these old videos. But here's what I think is going on also. If you remember the incident with Kirk Frost's daughter, Kelsey, and T. Hood, remember the video I showed you of T. Hood recording her when she was going off on him and she was talking trash and yelling at him and she was annoyed? Remember how his family posted that video saying, yeah, women can be aggressors too. You see, that's what usually happens. When a man is abusive and aggressive or puts hands on a woman, then when the woman crashes out or catches him cheating or lying or whatever, and they get upset and lose it, then he'll sit there and record her to make it look valid, like she's the aggressor. Okay, like she's the one who's causing problems and into DV in this relationship, not me. That's what they'll do. That's the behavior of a narcissist, in my opinion. I think that's absolutely what was going on there. Now, with that all been said, and I'm wondering if he gave Romeca a black eye, because there's a picture of Romeca. It looks like she was arrested that day, but there's a black eye. Now, the guy that you're going to hear talking in this video, to me, I don't really think he knows what he's talking about because there's different stories going around. So you hear some people saying, oh, Holly was bullied, Holly was the victim. And then you hear some people saying Romeca was being stalked and she was the victim. Okay, we just don't know what's going on until the police come out and give us all the information. We can try to piece together some of it, and just from what I've pieced together, I really think that this was all a setup, like I said, from day one. Okay,
Y'all know it's before we ask. Now, Romeca Meeks Blackman, that is her name. And the sad thing about it, it was deliberately left out so you wasn't able to look up her records. And in the multiple videos that have been circulating on the internet, showing her being very aggressive, showing her being very irrational and perverse. Now, let me tell you what's funny. If a man was the one behaving this way and a woman was recording him, I wonder if people would be saying, oh yeah, that woman's a narcissist. She's the one that's provoking him. That's why he's running up, hitting her or holding something to hit her with. The internet is so silly and foolish because people just refuse to believe that someone is dangerous. This woman had a history of domestic violence. She had a history of being aggressive to his new baby mother. Did she deserve to die? That's not for us to determine. Because when they do the investigation, obviously it's been alleged that that lady been let free. Now, if somebody's threatening you, consistently bullying you, trying to come for your life on a day-to-day basis, this happens a lot in life. Where if a man feels threatened by another man and he attacks him and he shoots because he felt threatened, that stands your ground. You don't see too many people going behind that if that man had a history of violence. I think people would try to make up, oh, you know what, the world is filled with narcissists and people that are unreasonable and crazy. So that means due to that reason, every time we step outside of our door and there's a narcissist close by that's provoking us, that means we should just supposed to be aggressive and angry and belligerent and out of character because people around us are narcissists based on people's logic. We supposed to just be, people that delete others because we are handled by narcissists. We're being provoked. See, this is weird to me, man. This type of terminology shows the type of world that we live in today. We live in a world full of people that are quick to blame others for their actions rather than taking accountability. I ain't heard no one say, on that side, say, you know what, this girl obviously was unhinged. She was doing some crazy shit. She the one that pulled up behind their car. She was the one that was the aggressor. Nobody's saying nothing about that. They're just quick to blame. And because he was recording her behavior, because he's a man, if you know the type of world we live in today, nobody will believe you as a man because they're going to quick to turn it on you. Oh, you're a narcissist. No, maybe that girl just is wild. Maybe she doesn't have all her screws. Maybe there's a problem with her behavior like a lot of others out there. Y'all got to stop with the bullshit and come to reality.
Good morning, y'all. I'm just upset because all these fake ass scenarios y'all coming up with about my girl is heartbreaking to me, and I know it is to her family. Y'all don't know the situation, and motherfuckers will never know the situation unless you was there. You can't speak on shit unless you know what the fuck going on. That's how I feel. You get me? So while y'all doing all this hearsay shit, y'all ain't heard it from the real motherfuckers. Y'all making up shit. It's irritating the fuck out of me just to see this shit. I know my friend and her family, they hurting right now. They hurting. And it's fucked up how you inconsiderate ass bitches keep doing this shit.
Exactly. And here's the thing. That young man that was talking, he was talking about how people don't want to believe the truth on the internet and they want to say the man's a narcissist. And he's acting like Romeca was the aggressor and said she was constantly bullying Holly. But here's what I want you all to pay attention to. Okay, what were his charges? Domestic battery, bodily harm, resisting a police officer, or aiding escape. Now, if we want to talk about what Romeca was charged with on that day, Romeca was charged with domestic battery and also destruction of property. So let's not act like, because they're trying to act like she was always starting stuff with Holly. No, she wasn't. She was starting stuff with her man, with her baby's father. She was starting stuff with Carlos because he was lying to her. Because he was lying to her. If my man's out here telling me lies too, I'm going to check him. Okay, I'm going to check him. There's no proof to validate that she was ever harassing Holly. There's no proof to validate that Holly actually had a restraining order. I would like to see it. These are narratives being painted and pushed, and Holly was picking on her. I'm going to show that video too. But here's the thing. They want to act like little Miss Holly is so innocent and Romeca was being a whole bully and all of that. How did she get that black eye in that picture? Does he know how stupid he sounds? She was the aggressor, but she has a whole black eye. Who hit her in the eye? Was it Carlos? Because I think it was Carlos. Okay, it said destruction of property. Whose property did I just show you a video that she was about to destroy? His, for lying. Now, I'm not saying she was right for doing it. Okay, people get mad and get upset and do things that they shouldn't do. That's a fact. But at the end of the day, he's using these old videos to try to paint her as something, because even if she was the aggressor on those days, on the day that she lost her life, she was not the aggressor. She was by herself. She was unarmed. And two of them put hands on her. Now, I will say that Carlos, when they say he had her in a headlock, maybe he was trying to break it up. I don't know. That's what some people think. But at the end of the day, I think this is all planned and premeditated. Okay, so I'm going to get to what the witness says in just a moment. Before I do, let's go to this video of Holly talking trash about Romeca.
I would never be begging a nigga to be with me after he got a baby on the way. I would never be having matching t-shirts on with a nigga that got a baby on the way. I would never be trying to play family with a nigga that got a baby on the way. I would never want to be with a nigga that burnt me while I was pregnant. I would never want to be a bitch like that. I would never be telling random people that my baby daddy burnt me. I would never tell nobody no shit like that. I would never tell random people that my baby daddy cheated on me our whole relationship, my whole pregnancy, that he cheated on me. I would never, you could never get me to tell no shit like that to no random people that I don't fucking know. I would never want to have a job to where I'm wiping old people's ass and giving old people showers and feeding them and shit. I would never want to have a job like that. I would never want to have a job that my car was in the shop for 2 years. I couldn't get it out. I would never want to have a job like that. I'm wiping ass and I ain't got no car still. I would never want no job like that. I would never want to be with a nigga that done got so many bitches pregnant during the time that I've known him. I would never want to be with a nigga like that. I would never want to be with a nigga that didn't play in my face for damn near 10 years. I would never want to be with a nigga like that. I'm getting me a new nigga ASAP. I would never have a big ass birthday party and have to catch a ride to my birthday party because I don't have a car. I would never call a big...
Okay, so that doesn't sound like she was scared of Romeca to me. I don't see why she would have needed a restraining order, because clearly she wasn't scared of Romeca. If she was scared of Romeca, why was she making those posts, talking trash about her? Okay, why was she doing that if she was so scared? Because she wasn't scared. That's what she wasn't. Okay, she wasn't being bullied. She was the bully. She was helping Carlos to bully and stalk Romeca. That's my opinion. Now let's go to this lying Negro who's sitting up here talking about Romeca was the aggressor and all this and that. Now, mind you, this is, hold on. Where's the video of him by himself? Oh, okay, hold on. I almost forgot. I'm going to have to upload that video real quick. Here it is. I think this is it right here.
Yeah, see, who gonna take care of Lilo's if you send him to jail for nothing that he really didn't do? He didn't do it. He didn't shoot her. He didn't pull the trigger. He didn't tell Roro to come down. Roro bust a U from the school. What y'all don't know is the school is on the same block as Lowe's crib. Lowe's crib right up the street. Because literally, if you leave out of Lowe's crib, you can look down the street and see a school. Y'all don't know this shit. Y'all talking about why the girl is there. No, Roro pulled down from his school and busted you right in front of Lowe's crib. That's what she died at. Right in front of Lowe's crib. Y'all don't even know this shit. Like, we know, we love Roro. But one thing we can't do is let the internet bring another man down to try to suck him into the system over what y'all trying to be on some sheep man, nigger hater club shit. You don't do no shit like that. Y'all the same motherfucker. Y'all hate black men, but y'all only want us. Y'all don't want white niggas. Y'all don't want Mexican niggas. You don't want Chinese man. You want black man. But y'all don't know how to treat us. But y'all want us to treat y'all accordingly. And then when we treat y'all accordingly, y'all don't know how to act or even accept the shit. And then when we get too much up in the shit, you trying to throw me in jail because I don't want to go about all this bullshit that y'all got going on. You gonna lie on me, put me on the internet, all type of shit. You know, like, we all know that. We all know that Roro is a junkyard dog. Anybody come in her yard, she gonna snap. That's what she do. Yeah, she been doing that shit for a long ass time, man. We gotta, like, you know what I'm saying, like.
Now I want you all to pay attention. He called her Roro. I haven't heard anybody else call her that. Maybe that's her nickname. But he said she's a junkyard dog. But he's supposed to love her. That's what he said. He called her a junkyard dog. I want y'all to pay attention.
Like, we just gotta accept shit for what it is. Like, I know we don't want to say type of shit like this, take a hard pill and swallow. Look, my uncle died in 2010. He died in 2010, and all the shit he did when he died, I wasn't even thinking like, damn, folks did a whole lot of shit. Somebody was eventually gonna do something to him for in a minute. Like, all the shit you keep doing, you thinking motherfucker gonna keep letting you bully them, they gonna keep letting you do shit. Think about it, Los. The baby, it takes 9 months for a baby to go on you. So if that girl had a restraining order on her, I mean, she been doing shit for almost 2 years. Think about it. That girl got a concealed carry. She ain't looking for no trouble. She just looking to protect herself. She ain't looking to do no stupid shit. Why would she get out? Why would she go there specifically for Roro? Like, she already got the police report on her. She just don't want her to run up on her. Like, why would she specifically go there to try to shoot her? Why would Lo set Romeca? Why would he? They ain't even got no money. Lo still want his me time. Sometimes after all this father time that he do, he want his me time. So of course he want to see. Sometimes he might want to Roro pop up at events. Like, that's the thing. That's how you know Lo's not even together, because Roro pop up at events that motherfuckers be at. She don't go there with Los. You never seen Roro go to an event with Los. You never seen that. What the fuck you talking about? Someone who can't defend himself, bro? I'm not talking about her. I'm not even talking about her. I'm literally only saying that y'all gotta let the law do what the law gonna do. Because if you gonna throw down a man on the bus, who's gonna take care of Lil Los? Like, they ain't gonna do what they gonna need to do for him, like Los gonna do for his son. And folks ain't had shit to do with that. Y'all want him to jump in front of a bully. Folks not Superman. Ain't nobody Superman. What the fuck? What I look like jumping in front of a bully because 2 crazy hoes want to fight? And I'm telling them stop. I've been breaking them up for a year. All this time that's going on. Calling the police, restraining orders, ain't nothing working. What am I supposed to do? I'm already doing what I can do in the midst of this moment to try to save this last little thing. And then what I get? A bunch of people try to turn on me for no fucking reason and just try to build a story out of what they think. A lot of people, these pedestrians that's walking past, they don't know what's going on. They only know what they see and from the very little moment, but they can still put their own story together, even though some motherfuckers gonna build up the worstest shit. They want the worstest shit to put. Like, it's a lot of that shit going on. But at the end of the day, bro, when you going through it with a person like Romeca, let's say like when Lo starting his new life with a new baby mama, he trying to move on, bro. You got Romeca doing shit behind the scenes, but then you got Lo probably gonna react after so much. You know, folks get tired of that shit. Like, I'm gonna drop some more videos. So, like, it's gonna be videos on tearing up folks' crib, all type of shit. Like, it's more shit to come. Like, I'm saying, like, y'all want to show shit that's from a year ago. You mean to tell me she been doing shit for 7 years? She got all these different restraining orders on her. That 1 year of shit that you probably got on Lowe's that from 1 year ago, though. That was probably one incident from 1 year ago. Like, be fucking for real. And then some shit that you saying not even true. Like, the shit that you talking about pulling up to your job, stalking. You call a motherfucker to your job, then you taking a picture saying somebody's stalking. That's weird. Like, what type of shit you on? What type of shit you on? You literally damn near planning your own demise and you don't even know it. Because you just so evil in the mind that that's how baby mama's is, though. I'm not even really talking about Ro, because this is more baby mama situation. Some shit just escalate more because in the midst of the situation, what's going on. If more baby mamas had concealed carries and more bitches running up on baby mamas, more baby mamas would be getting shot. Because y'all be tweaking. Y'all motherfuckers trying to fight. Folks, how the fuck he gonna tell y'all ass not to, y'all, we already trying to make y'all not fight. Like, Roro ain't had no, bro, she pulled up and blocked that girl in. She blocked that girl in. Where was she gonna go? She already outside the car because she chilling right there in front of Lowe's crib. She could do that. She free will. That's Lowe's school down the street. That's what motherfuckers don't even know. Y'all think this shit came from, y'all think folks, y'all met up at the school and did some weird shit. Oh, she got outside there, go Romeca, shoot up, pop, pop, pop. Like, weird. I'm finna grab her, put it in the headlock, shoot her, boom, boom, boom. Pedestrians walk past, you put it in the headlock, you shot her. Like, no, you can't do that. Y'all tarnishing this man's character for no fucking reason, bro. And y'all don't know the story. That's all I'm saying. Like, y'all need to let the law do what the fuck they need to do. They gonna review the tapes. They gonna see what the fuck going on. Their stories gonna corroborate with whatever the fuck going on. If it don't, then it don't. Then if it do, it do. But at the end of the day, we know folks ain't looking to hurt nobody. That girl probably wasn't even looking to hurt nobody. But I'm not sitting there saying, but look, Romeca was looking for some for bullshit, because that's how she be. She body was already lurking through that bitch. I see this bitch. I'm on her. You just said, I already saw it through the video when she walked off with Lilos. She said, I better not catch you with that bitch. I'm gonna beat you. She rolled past his crib because she was his school right there. She took a little detour before work and boop, pulled up in front of that girl car and blocked her in. And whatever happened from there, I still don't know the facts. I don't know the facts, but I know that for surely happened. I know it for surely happened like that. So.
So anyway, you all heard what he said, and he sounds like he's just painting a whole narrative, okay? Because first of all, you said you had not talked to Lo, okay, or Carlos. You said you had not talked to him in 5 years, but you are all up on Holly's jock. How long has he been dating Holly? Okay, because he's been with Romeca at least about 10 years. I think maybe around 2011 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry, 2015, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. But the thing is that I find interesting, he's saying all this stuff and has all this information, let him tell it. But he's saying let the police do their job, right? Well, yeah, let them do their job. Why are you trying to do it? Why are you posting these old videos of Romeca? And then pay attention. He said that in one of the videos, Romeca walked past and told Carlos that if she sees him with that B, then she's gonna beat him or whatever. I think I did show you all that video. But the bottom line is, why are you even concerned about any of this, sir? Now here is him talking to Romeca's aunt. Okay, because she wanted to know why he's posting all this stuff, why he's doing all of this.
Right. But now, if you knew her first, but then you met him next, but that's your dog, why you couldn't stay mutual out of it? What's your purpose, though? That's all I want to know.
I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's people who will sit around and let somebody crucifix somebody, but to me, listen, don't cut me off. Listen. The nigga that I always been to my circle of guys, I always gonna tell the guys the truth, whether you right or you wrong. If your ass one of them right and one of them wrong,
that nigga just told me, just told me your ass live out of town. Picture and sent it to him. He said you live out of town.
Okay. Don't matter. I don't live out of town. I live in Chicago, Illinois.
No, you don't. You used to. You don't live there no more. You a nigga from out of town. Why you lying on here? He said he ain't told you, he ain't talked to you or none of that.
It don't matter. I just told y'all I didn't talk to him.
It do matter. What that prove? You talking about that's your dog and you was trying to take
that don't mean we gotta talk.
You ain't never
I can't not talk to my guys. I gotta talk to my people.
When the last time you talked to him?
Do I have to?
Okay, I'm finna call him on the other phone. Hold on, let me get this other
phone. Do me and my friends
let me get the other phone so I can call him. Hold on. Let's put him on the phone. Put him on the phone. Cause he said your ass live out of town. He said you a bitch. He said you one of the bitches. Okay. But you said you up here taking up for this nigga. He said you one of the bitches.
Okay, so with that all being said, I don't know if he actually said that or not, but I have several questions. Now, here is that same dude, Quadri, talking to this guy. Now, I think he was on his live and he added somebody to the stream or whatever, and he's explaining stuff about Romeca. Please listen.
Romeca pulled up on Holly at Lowe's house. Lowe's house is on the same block as the school, so it's down the street. If you go look at her crime scene, bro, you're going to see the puddle of blood in front of a store, in front of a storefront, not in front of a school. If you go on my page and you see Romeca stalking Los and pressing his bell, you're going to see her show the whole crime scene right there. So that means she got killed right in front of his house because the blood spot is right there in front of his house, not in front of no school.
So you saying she dropped her son off and then what? She re-rocked and went by Lo's house?
Yes, that's exactly what she did, bro. Romeca just attacked her. That means old girl damn near fearing for her life because ain't no telling what Romeca's saying. If you just beat her up and you just smashed her, why you got to beat her up again? You feel me?
So you got 4 shots handed off, and if a motherfucker say she shot with 4 shots and he had in a headlock and this nigga ain't get hit?
If he had on the headlock while she's shooting all them shots, that means Los would have got hit, right?
I thought you were home. Ain't that what you said? I'm at home. You ain't nowhere near home. You ain't nowhere near at home. And I'm ringing both bells. What you study land for? I knew you were pulling up to a bitch crib. That's why you blocked me. Like I said, you was pulling up to her crib. Bitch, I ain't stupid. Y'all whole lights on up there and everything. Who the fuck you think you lying to, Carlos? All you do is lie. All you fucking do is lie. All your ass do is lie. Bitch, you was just on the phone with me for 45 minutes driving to a bitch house arguing with me, and the whole time you pulling up to a bitch crib.
Ass bitch, you could have just fought. You was that scared? Y'all in the same weight class. Exactly. She's not from Milwaukee. Waukegan. Yes, he used her to do his dirty work and then want to play victim. Bitch, I hope they don't even let your ass come to the motherfucking funeral now. Bitch, sit with that. And you ain't gonna see your motherfucking kids, bitch. Cause you thought you was slick. You changed your clothes after you helped kill my motherfucking cousin. Gonna go home and change your clothes, then try to go get my little cousin out of school early. Bitch, and they caught your ass. And they stopped you, bitch. You don't got no rights no more. Exactly. The girl ain't need to be there at all. Fuck up out of here. Y'all got me fucked up. I ain't gonna give a fuck. All you scared.
Now, here's something I want you all to pay attention to. That guy that's talking quadri, he's acting like he was there and saw everything or knows something. He literally hasn't seen this man in 5 years, according to him. So how is he getting all this information? Also, he's constantly trying to paint Romeca as the aggressor, and then keeps on saying that it didn't happen at the school. Keeps on saying what y'all don't know is it happened. She died in front of his house. She died on his street and this and that. No. The news said that it was at the school by CMAC. Okay, that's what the witness also says that I'm going to play in a minute. But with that all being said, this guy is doing a whole lot. I really think Carlos put him up to this. They're on the in on this together, in my opinion. Okay, I just find it all very interesting. Here's another thing that I just thought about. Literally, why did the girlfriend Holly, why did she need to come to the school? Because they were in separate cars. Now, if they were riding together, I could have seen maybe they showed up because she was already with Carlos, spent the night at his house, and so she was in the car with him. But no, she was in her own separate car. So why the hell did both of them need to come to that boy's school to drop him off if they actually came to drop him off? Why did both of them need to be there? This reeks of premeditation and as if they were setting something up. Because why did they both need to come? The father, Carlos, could have just dropped him off at school if that was the task. And then Romeca bringing the lunch. Why did the girl Holly need to even be there at all? Okay, that makes no sense. Clearly, they were up to something, in my opinion.
Romeca, I think I said her name right. I hate that Romeca lost her life in this situation or whatever, but I think that we're painting a picture of Holly that is not a picture of being painted of Holly that is not true.
Right, and so look, it's good that you say that. It's good that you say that because now it makes me question you to answer you this. How do you feel like they're supposed to think about those?
What I'm telling you is I don't like the decisions that she made. And I don't mean to cut you off, but I was just looking at the comments. I don't like the decision that she made. But at the same time, everybody has a fucking breaking point. You cannot keep bullying people. And this goes for all the young kids that's even watching. You can't keep bullying people and expect them to respond in a certain way. You cannot. We cannot expect that. It's not a decision I would have made, but it wasn't me. That's just me.
Look, when somebody tell you fuck the law, that means they don't give a fuck about what you got to say. They don't give a fuck about when somebody say fuck the law.
In a world full of bitch niggas, you top 5 of the bitches of them. The bitches of them all. What are you trying to prove? What are you trying to prove posting these throwback ass motherfucking videos? Anybody with the gift of fucking discernment can see and smell and sniff and know exactly what the fuck is going on here. Even in death, you infatuated with this motherfucking woman. Period. Point blank. I don't give a fuck how you try to spin it. I don't give a fuck how you try to make the shit seem you infatuated with this motherfucking woman. And if that little bitch that's with you got any goddamn sense in her motherfucking head, she will fucking see herself in Romeca. I hope that your son don't never grow up to involve himself with bitch ass niggas like you, including you, ho. Anybody with discernment can see what the fuck you doing, nigga. What you been doing. You doing exactly right now what you been doing. Fuck nigga shit. Anybody that done lived real life out here can tell those videos are her reacting to something you fucking did. And they look throwback, bitch. Matter of fact, the ones that she posted here recently, you could tell they were recent. You could tell there was some time in between. What you mad about is that you couldn't have your motherfucking way. And now you want to be validated in your fuck ass decisions. Boy, you need to grow the fuck up. Matter of fact, it's probably too fucking late. It's probably too fucking late. You done sealed your fate, bitch. I hope your ass get the death penalty. I don't give a fuck. I believe in it.
Okay, here's the thing. The young lady that was in the video talking to Quadri, that was Holly's friend. Okay, that was Holly's friend. That's why she was defending her, saying Holly was bullied. Holly was bullied. Now, Holly could have been telling her she was bullied for all we know. But at the end of the day, I don't think Holly was ever being bullied. If she was being bullied and you're so damn scared, why are you going up to that woman's son's school when you know she's supposed to be bringing him lunch if the father's dropping him off? Why are you going up to that school? Okay, please make it all make sense. It's still given that they were instigating something. Okay? Now let's go to this last video before we get to the witness.
I just want to say this whole motherfucking Romeca situation is getting blown out of motherfucking proportion. You feel me? Like whoever the lady is that was out there who called the police, I hope she takes stand and I hope she take that bitch very motherfucking well. First of all, I don't give a fuck if them people was fucking fighting. If that motherfucker didn't have that GUN sitting on her motherfucking hip or her motherfucking hand, she had no right to run away, go get a weapon, and come back and do that to her. We're gonna start there. Two, the news gave out the whole motherfucking wrong story. The news gave out a false ass fucking story. Had everybody believing the wrong motherfucking shit. For three, the baby daddy out of motherfucking line forgot his motherfucking people posting these motherfucking videos of his son motherfucking mama. At the end of the day, you was still fucking with her. At the end of the day, you was still telling this lady lies. At the end of the day, you was still leading this lady on. At the end of the motherfucking day, I don't see no videos of Romeca harassing the new girlfriend. That was you and her situation. And I just pray to fucking God he don't try to go get his motherfucking son and have him full motherfucking time. Because you dead ass out of line. Your son will always hate you. Your son will probably unalive your ass when he get motherfucking grown. I hope you don't try. Leave that little boy right where Romeca parents is or Romeca family. Leave him alone. That little boy need to grieve. Please don't try to go fucking force him to be around you and this fucking bitch ass lady. Like, this shit dead ass motherfucking wrong. Everybody act like they ain't never seen no toxic shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all trying to paint this lady out to be fucking toxic. She wasn't toxic for no motherfucking reason. He was fucking antagonizing her. He was leading her fucking on. The girlfriend obviously was jealous of her. The video I just seen of her making, she was obviously fucking jealous of fucking Romeca, and she couldn't stand the fact that he probably wouldn't leave her the fuck alone. That's why she did that. I don't give a fuck how it happened, how it started. She wasn't supposed to take 2 steps away to get no weapon and pull the trigger. She need to
ass up, lock his ass up. You're going to jail. You're going to jail. Ass up.
Okay, so with that all being said, I absolutely agree with everything she said. This is all a setup as far as I'm concerned. And also, that last clip where they said lock his ass up, the post on there, that screenshot, that's the same screenshot I showed you all days ago where Holly posted, said sometimes you just got to start killing MFs. Now, here's the thing. I didn't pay attention when I showed you all that before, but do you all know that she posted that like the day before Holly's death? I mean, Romeca's death. The day before she killed Romeca, if I'm not mistaken. Even On that video, it said like 5 days ago or something like that. So yeah, I think this was all absolutely planned. Because why the hell was Holly at the school? Carlos didn't have to bring Holly to the school with him. She didn't have to follow him there. They weren't even in the same car. So why does that make sense? Because it absolutely doesn't. And with that all being said, and without further ado, we're going to go to what the witness who actually was there, what she has to say. Okay? And let me give a shout out to the Messy Sweet Spot, because she's the one who interviewed this young lady. Okay, even though I got the video from Criminal Villains, but from their channel, but Messy Sweet Spot is the one who actually did the interview. Okay, so let me put an overlay on this, and we're going to get into it.
About what I seen and what I heard.
Hear you now, witness.
I was actually the one at the scene, so I was the one that was yelling out to arrest her, because everybody wasn't doing anything. I was actually the one who called the cops first, and I saw them when they were fighting in the beginning, and I was like, this is not right. He was slamming her with a door when she was standing in her door frame, not even close to the female on the other side. So she was literally standing on the other side of the road, and her baby daddy was literally slamming the door on her.
Now, do you all hear this? The witness is saying that she was on the other side of the road and the baby's daddy was literally slamming the door on her. So he was the one. Now, I want you all to pay attention, because here's the thing. Just like that lady said in that last video clip, and I said myself also, there's no proof that Romeca was ever attacking or bullying Holly. There's no video proof of it. All the videos showing her being aggressive is her being aggressive with Carlos, because Carlos is a liar. Because he was the liar. She was not confronting Holly. She was confronting him. And like I told you all, and still believe, that he was recording her just to make it look good for him. He's recording her to make it look like she's the aggressor. But at the end of the day, he was putting hands on her. Okay, that's why he was arrested for domestic violence or bodily harm or whatever. And that's likely why Romeca, had a black eye. Okay, please pay attention. I don't know if he gave her that black eye, but he could have. Okay, so let's continue.
On her back. So she went back into her car, came back out, and then this was when the baby daddy walked towards the other baby mama. After this happened, he grabbed her by the waist. She tried to wiggle away from him. Her arm was like literally almost getting free, with his arm around her neck this time, because he was holding her by the waist in the beginning and she wiggled out, After this happened, he had her in the, like, almost looking like a headlock to me on the side. And then the other baby mama stated, "I'm going to shoot you, bitch. Watch me shoot you, bitch." And he stated, she's going to go get her gun. She's going to go get her gun. Watch. And after this happened, she ran to the passenger side of her vehicle, grabbed her gun, went around. And when the woman, the mother, who slipped away from him for at least like maybe a good second, as soon as she slipped away, she shot her. And she shot her in the face, on her side, and in her thigh.
Okay, so she shot her 3 times. And I want you all to pay attention to something, because the friend Quadri, Carlos's friend, was trying to say that how could Carlos not have gotten shot if he was holding Romeca in a headlock? Well, it was common sense to me that he had to have let her go at that point when she got shot. But you just heard the witness say it. You just heard the witness say it, that she got away from him, and she was probably trying to get away to run, because she just heard this woman tell her while she's in a headlock and can't defend herself. Mind you, picture it. She just heard this woman say, "I'm going to shoot you, B. I'm going to shoot you. Watch me shoot you." And then the baby's father, Carlos, says, "Watch, she's about to go get her gun." When he heard her say she's going to go get her gun, why didn't he let go of Romeca and go and grab her to stop her from getting the gun? Why didn't he do that? Why didn't he do that? Special case says she's very credible and accurate and matter of fact. Very good eyewitness. Thank you. I absolutely agree, beloved. Thank you for your insight. Now, I want y'all to pay attention. Carlos has done some very sketchy things. Bringing the baby mom there in the first place, not holding her back. Why are you holding Romeca in a headlock when the baby mom, your other baby mom, just said she's going to get her gun? And then you repeat and say, oh, she about to get her gun. Why didn't you let Romeca go so she could try to run? Maybe she could have made it to her car and you could have grabbed Holly. You could have avoided this. One Who Cares said he wanted to see them fight. No, he wanted to see Romeca die. That's what he wanted to see, beloved. He wanted to see more than a fight, honey. When somebody says, I'm going to get my gun, watch me shoot you, and then he says she's going to go get her gun, he knew she was going to get that gun. He said it. And so he also knew that she was going to shoot her. I promise you, they've already had this conversation. I promise you, they've already had this conversation. This is not making a bit of sense. And then why was he slamming her between the car door? Okay. And then it's just really so sad when you think about it, because I want each and every one of you to think about this. Think about someone in a headlock and someone else yelling, telling them, I'm about to shoot you, B. Watch me shoot you. And then the person who has you in the headlock tells you, oh, watch, she about to go get her gun. How fearful are you at that point? How afraid for your life are you? Now, Holly told the police that she feared for her life, but that's a damn lie. Because if she feared for her life, when she ran to her car, instead of going to get the gun, she could have gotten her behind in that car and driven away. Carlos already had a ride. He drove his own truck. She could have gotten in her vehicle and driven away. And somebody tried to say that she was blocked in, that Romeca had them blocked in. No, she didn't. I saw the perfect angle. I saw the picture of her car in the video. Like I said, on the day she passed, her car was at the end. And there was plenty of room to get by. She was not blocking anyone in. She was not blocking anyone in. If anything, Carlos's car was obstructing the traffic, the way he left his truck, and which was probably on purpose now that I think about it. Okay, now they're sitting here trying to paint these narratives, and this is all really getting on my nerves because these people are lying. I believe the witness, but let's continue.
And I saw him like holding her for a split second. Maybe he was in shock, but after he was in shock, I guess he picked her up, and when she was falling, like a gush of blood fell, like out of her body. And I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, I don't know, everybody else sees movies, you know what I mean, and they see put pressure on the wound. Why weren't you putting pressure on the wound? Why weren't you caring enough? This supposedly was your first baby mama, because when I was on the bus, I heard him and her screaming, and she was literally saying, she was like, I just dropped off my fucking baby. What? I just dropped off my fucking baby. Are you guys kidding me? As soon as I got off the 21 bus, and trust me, they got it. You know what I mean? Everything that I literally had to, I wasn't gonna let her die like that. I literally looked into her eyes. That hurt me. She says she dropped her baby off, and you don't know who she is. You know what I mean? And I was like, arrest her. She needs to get arrested. You know what I mean? They weren't even thinking. There was another black female cop who came up, and a Mexican shore cop. And I pointed out, I was like, the gun's in her car. The gun's in the car. Why wouldn't you give him the gun if supposedly this was, a self-defense? You know what I mean? If it was, hey, here's the gun. This is what happened. It was no self-defense. I swear to you, it did not look like no self-defense. It looked like you shot her because you were just angry or something. You know what I mean? And to me,
could we use your house to trial our 20?
I want you all to pay attention because this lady, the witness, just said that basically Romeca was saying, I just dropped off my son. What? I just dropped off my son. So she said Romeca dropped the son off. That's what the witness is saying. Or did she mean she dropped off the lunch? I don't know. Okay, but they definitely should have been arrested, both of them. Jay Great says Romeca has a restraining order on him. He wasn't supposed to be there. Why was the other baby mama? I don't know. I don't even know, but I'm starting to think that Romeca didn't have a restraining order on him. I'm starting to think, beloved, that she did not have a restraining order on him. I don't know where these stories came from, but there hasn't been any proof to substantiate it. I'm thinking that she may not have had a restraining order on him because if he's picking up the son and stuff, how is he doing that if she has a restraining order? Or is he picking the child up from somewhere else? I don't know. Let's just keep listening.
When she shot her, it wasn't it she the female that got shot, she wasn't with any gun. She didn't have no weapon, no knives, no nothing. So what was it that frightened you so much? You had to run around your car, go into your passenger seat or whatever the case is, and you reached in to get your gun and shoot this woman, you know? So to me, it was a senseless they were arguing because she was pulling up and I guess they ended up parking. Why was her car parked on the sidewalk? Because I seen she ran towards the sidewalk to get her gun, and it was a small black vehicle, and he had a black truck, I think. And literally, he came out of his truck looking like real, like he wasn't like on anything but being like mischievous, like nothing but like what was like he was planning something, you know what I mean?
Y'all hear that? The witness said he was looking mischievous. He was looking like he was planning something. Okay? And why was Holly's car parked on the sidewalk? Y'all heard that? What she said when she went to her car, it was like on the sidewalk. And she said that Carlos looked like he was up to something.
And I called the cops on the first time I called the cops, it was because he was attacking her, you know? And the other girl was just yelling at her and she was arguing back. So there was nothing going on for her to be like, oh, I'm going to step back over here to go get my gun. You know, she was nowhere near her. But that's all I got to say. And I know for a fact that she did get arrested, but he got let go. So hopefully, you know, for what I said and what I witnessed, I just don't want to be, you know, put on the stand or anything to say. I did put a statement in because I know it's necessary. You know, it was a ridiculous, you know, I'm a mom too. I wouldn't want my baby to hear like that, you know, and I wouldn't want me to be laying in the ground. She's a sister, you know, she's a mother, she's a daughter, she's somebody to everybody. She's a friend, you know, and that was bogus to just stand there and look at her like she was nothing, you know. To me, I was literally so mad. My boyfriend was also really mad. He was yelling at them. I don't know if you noticed. He was there too, and I was on the phone with him while this was happening. I would call back at him, and he was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Please hurry." And I even had him run that way. I was like, "You need to run that way to go see if he's okay. Go see if everything's okay. What's going on over there? What's going on? Is she laying in the? Go see if she's okay." You know, and it's just senseless that I felt like I had to go send my boyfriend over there because he was just standing over her like, you know, like, I don't know. But I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for letting me speak.
No, I just want to say
Now, let me tell you all something. So she's saying that he really didn't give zero F's about Romeca lying there on the ground. And she had to send her own boyfriend over there to check on her. Isn't that something? You know he didn't give a darn, because here's the thing. If he had given a darn, he would have stopped Holly from going to get that darn gun. She literally said it before she did it. And he didn't do anything except stand there like an idiot holding Romeca so she couldn't defend herself, or at least try to run, leave, get in her car, whatever. If somebody has a gun and you don't, you may just want to flee the scene. Okay? So why didn't he let her go? Please pay attention. This was premeditated murder, you guys. I promise you. He didn't let Romeca go until Holly came back with the damn gun. That's what the witness said. She got away from him for about a second, and then she was shot. So you know why he was holding her? He was holding her there so that Holly could kill her. So she couldn't leave. So she couldn't get out of there. This is what it was. This is what it was, and the police need to recognize that, because this is exactly what it was. He was holding her there so that that girl could take her life. He's mad. He was mad because Romeca was probably over it, didn't want him, and he wanted her out of there. Didn't have to worry about paying her child support. He can get his son and just go on and then not have to worry about her being happy with anyone else. That's exactly what I think happened. But let's keep listening. This is all so damn sad.
Witness, I want to give you a hug, and I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for speaking up and being a hero and having the anointing of God on you, to have that courage to speak and have that faith to call out demons in front of them and how they are, because so many people be so afraid to speak out, but not you. And I'm thankful that you have come up here and you have told the truth. You have put truth, to power, and we need more people like you. We really, really do. And I just want to say thank you so much. Now you said that Carlos, because that is the baby daddy, his name is Carlos Way. Now, he was putting hands on Meeks. That's the woman that passed away. She's a chocolate girl, the first baby mom. You said when you first saw they were arguing, Carlos and Miss Meeks, was they at her car?
Business has changed forever, and there's no going back. AI isn't.
Yeah, they were by Miss Meeks' car. Miss Meeks was standing in her door frame, and Carlos had the driver's side door, and he was slamming the door into her to where she was like jerking herself. Yes.
Oh my God, he's a demon. And he did it in front of the kids, in front of the public. Can you imagine what he does behind closed doors?
Trust me, that's why I called the cops right away, because it looked like to me it was like a domestic violence. And
it was. Anytime you got a big man like that, do you see the muscles on this dude? And she ain't
he was huge.
She ain't nothing but $150, and he slammed that door, using a door as a weapon to harm her. And you got this other girl just looking, and what was she doing at the time?
She was standing by her trunk of her car, and she was arguing with Miss Meeks about being there, I guess. And that's when I heard Miss Meeks yell out, "I just dropped off my fucking kid. Are you kidding me?" Like, she was like, "What the fuck's wrong with you guys?" Like it was a different, argument. Like, it wasn't even like she was arguing with her. You know what I mean? Yeah, she did.
Okay, so now that sounds like they came there to start something. She said Romeca was like, "What the F? I just dropped off my son. What the F are you guys doing?" So they came there to start mess with her. That's what it sounds like. Mel says any man who physically attacks a woman is a straight up PUNK. Okay? Honey, here's the thing. He should have been charged for slamming the door on her because that was domestic violence. And also, Holly should have been charged for at least bringing a gun to a school ground. Okay? Why was she even there if not to start trouble? But let's continue.
Get back out of her car, but it was because the other woman was antagonizing her, and she was acting like she wanted her to come out the car. So then she came out of the car, and I don't think.
Beloved Jay Great, the witness did tell the police this. The witness did tell the police this information, beloved. She gave a whole statement.
She expected to get shot. No one ever expects to get shot. You know what I mean? But to me, I felt like what I seen, it was unnecessary, and to the point where, it was senseless. And I don't know what came over her to even think to go get her gun. You know what I mean? Like, I thought they gave people training for that.
Did you know earlier this year, that same girl, the second baby mama that got the gun, she was writing to Miss Meeks online earlier this year in January. She said it's time to KMFers. So they said they already had this plan, that the second baby mama was already had in her heart that she wanted to end the first baby mama life.
Yeah, because she was jealous.
I didn't know that, actually. I just from what you know, I literally I haven't been online or anything, and I haven't been looking up, but I went on YouTube and I saw your thing, and you were saying to tell the truth, so I figured I'd come on to
And
let
I'm
it off
glad
my chest.
you did. Thank you so much. I'm glad you did. So afterwards, so he's slamming the car on her. So did eventually she get inside the car to get back out?
Yeah, because he was slamming it so hard. I feel like she was just trying to, like, you know, kind of get away from him. So
Got it.
then she went back in.
So she went back in the car. So I would think, okay, this is the end of it, right? But it's not
Yeah.
the end of it.
No, because the girl literally ran from the side of the sidewalk and then went in front of her car and Miss Meeks' car and started like yelling stuff out. That's where I actually got off the bus, and then I started getting close, and then like just to hear what was going on, and it started getting hectic, and then at that point I was already telling the cops they needed to hurry to come and get the situation handled because they were in the middle of the street arguing, you know, and I was like, he literally was slamming the door on her back, like, please go help, please help, you know. So
Yeah.
and then after she ran to the side. So
I'm glad you did. So after that, she got in the car, and then homegirl, Miss Johnson, Holly Johnson, that's her name. The second baby mama, the killer, is Holly Johnson. Holly Johnson gonna go in front of the car and yelling and trying to provoke her. And is that when Miss Meeks said, "Girl, I just got finished dropping my kids off. What are y'all doing?"
no, she was yelling that over the hood, right? But when she came out of the car, she said, "What?" Like, she was like, "What, bitch? Like, you keep coming up to my car. What's up?" You know, because she kept coming up to her car, and like every time she would go back into her car, she was like, you know, trying to get her out of the car. So then that's what it to me. It seemed like the only reason why she came out of the car was because the other one, oh, well, Miss Johnson was like antagonizing her.
Provoking her.
Yeah.
And while she's provoking her, what is Carlos doing? Is he telling
He's-
Holly, "Sit your ass down, get back, girl"? What is he doing?
He was just standing there looking.
Not saying nothing, like, "Okay, Holly, do what you got to do. This is what we plan to do, Holly. Go ahead. Take care of that."
That's definitely what it seems like he must have been thinking. First of all, they were definitely, from the sounds of it, trying to get her out of her car. Do you all hear this? And how the witness says that when she was first pulling up on the bus, she saw Holly run from the sidewalk where her car was and run in front of Romeca's car. Okay, now does that sound like Romeca was the aggressor to you all? Oh my goodness, the lies.
Well, I just seen him looking like he was just looking, you know, and to me, I didn't know what his plans were, what the plans were with between each other, you know. To me, what I seen, what I witnessed is, you know, the that he was standing right next to her and he didn't say anything, but they were arguing, and then once Miss Meeks walked up to Carlos, uh Miss Johnson ran to the sidewalk, and then Carlos snatched her up by the waist, and then she was wiggling out, like, almost, and then when she almost wiggled out, he had her by the neck because she was like wiggling down, you know. And
So do you
when
think
she
at that time when he had her by the waist and then she was getting out, then he grabbed her by the neck with them big old arms, do you think at that moment she knew that this was a setup? They're trying to take my life away.
You're not going to believe what happened.
This is such a darn shame. This is heartbreaking to even listen to.
I honestly, I just seen that when she got out of got out of it, like she was literally going the other way. She wasn't going towards her, you know? So it just looked like she was trying to get away, you know, at this point. She was scared, you know, and I seen like she was scared. Like, it was a different, like, you know, when you see somebody's movement and you could just tell, like, run to, you know what I mean? That's what I seen, you know.
Oh my God, this is absolutely hurting my heart so bad, you guys. I absolutely cannot believe any of this. So She said Romeca was going in the opposite direction. She was trying to leave. She was in fear of her life. She's sitting here saying, the witness that is, said that she was scared. Of course she was scared. This woman just told you she's going to get her gun. I'm going to shoot you. Watch me shoot you. Watch me shoot you. And you're trying to get away, but you can't because your baby's father is holding you there, lining you up. This is all so sad. Mel said, I wonder if the police interviewed this witness. Yes, she gave a statement, beloved. She did. Okay, the only reason that Holly is not locked up, let me just tell you all this again. Holly is not locked up because she had a license to carry. She made sure to let that be known. I don't know if she had a restraining order. They say that she did. Somebody said she yelled it in the first video. I don't remember. I just remember her talking about a license to carry. I don't remember anything about a restraining order. She may have one. I don't know. But also the main reason is because she said, I fear for my life. They have to finish investigating this. So maybe she'll get charged. Hopefully she will, because this is absolutely nefarious. This was all planned and premeditated, in my opinion.
And when she, like, there was no reason for, like, Carlos had her already. You know what I mean? There was no reason for her to go get her gun. You know, it was unnecessary, I think. But
it was unnecessary. And Holly life was not in danger. Nobody was trying to take Holly out of here. And you said
she didn't have anything.
Holly and Carlos, they came in separate cars.
Yeah, they did. Holly's car was already parked, right? Holly came out of the parked car, and Carlos was in a black truck vehicle. I think it was a Mercedes, and Miss Meeks was in the white car. So she was already, like, I think she just said, and she yelled that out, that she was just dropping off her kid, like, what's going on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so to me it looked like you know, like, it looked weird. You know what I mean? Because I was telling the police that she had her baby inside her car, you know? So I was like, that's her baby. The baby's in the car. You know, I was like, you need to arrest her. Like, why aren't you guys arresting her? And then she was all like, oh, and by the way, I don't know if anybody caught the video or anything, but Carlos goes up to Holly and fist bumps her and says,
what?
Yeah, it was what was it? It was self-defense, right? It was self-defense.
Now, you all heard that, honey. That's a damn sure sign that it was premeditated. She just said that Carlos went up to Holly and fist pumped her and said it was self-defense. Y'all hear this? That was the beginning of them getting their story straight. That was the beginning.
And she was like, yeah, it was self-defense.
Not fish bump. That's disgusting. After she is dead, they fish bumped each other?
Yeah, and he goes up to her, and they were both said, they looked at each other and it was self-defense, right? He was like, yeah, it was self-defense.
Why did they have two different cars there to meet her?
I'm actually not sure. I didn't, I just witnessed what I witnessed, and
they had those two cars because there was a gun in Holly's car. And because of his charges, his previous charges, he couldn't be in the car with her with that gun. Now, he's probably ridden in the car with her with that gun plenty of times, but he didn't want to be in the car with her with that gun that day because that was the day she was going to kill Romeca for him. I want y'all to pay attention. That's why he wasn't in the car with her that day, because that's the day she was going to use that gun to kill Romeca. And they both knew it. And so he didn't want to have any parts of getting in trouble with that gun because I'm sure he's a felon. Okay? This is all a darn shame. So anyway, I'm about to wrap this up.
That's just awkward to have.
But there was plenty of people on the sidewalk that they were shouting out to arrest her and everything. And the cops did their job, and they did, what they had to do, because, it wasn't for them, she wouldn't be like in handcuffs right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. How was Holly response to you all when you guys were saying arrest her? What was her? Did she look at you guys?
What's it called? She called me a snitch, and then I said, I don't care, I'm gonna sign complaints. And then what's it called? she was frustrated and she was saying, she was like, I have a concealed and carry, and I was like, I don't give a fuck. You shot somebody, you know what I mean? And the other girl was like, yeah, the gun's in the car. And I was like, bro, I've been said the gun's in the car. It's in the passenger side. You guys you just stashed it for what? What you stashed it for? If you was like a self-defense, then why the fuck did you why didn't you just hand them the gun? You know what I mean? But she didn't hand them the gun. She hid the gun. You know what I mean? So to me, I was like, bro, what was this? Like, what was this right now?
And then she had the audacity to call the witness a snitch. Okay, this is a concerned citizen. She's no darn snitch. She's not a criminal. But y'all hear that? This is what she's worried about after you just murdered this woman in the streets. You and your baby's father are fist pumping, talking about self-defense, getting your story straight, and then you're sitting here telling the witness that she's a snitch. Wow.
And the cops were like, they were like, who was it? Who was it? I was like, her. Arrest her. And they arrested her.
Good. And
the crazy part is she had, she had blood all over her because, you know, I was like, I would assume they would have arrested her. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But she was trying to get away with that self-defense and 2 people on one, but they're so dumb. They did it in front of everybody, just so reckless and careless. Yeah. So when she got locked up, did she say anything to y'all? Did she look at y'all funny?
Yeah, when she was walking away, she looked at me and looked at what's it called, my boyfriend, and she was like, whatever, y'all fucked up for this shit. It was self-defense. I got a restraining order on her.
What?
Yeah. So I was just like, it doesn't matter. Like, you shot someone, you didn't even you think to be like, hey, you know, like, let me rethink this, you know, not why would you pull out a gun? You know what I mean?
And how you have a restraining order, but you coming up to her school. You don't got no kids to go there. You dummy. You don't got no kids to go there.
Exactly. So here's the thing. If she had a restraining order, why did she come to the school? She wasn't even in the same car as Carlos. There was no reason for her to be there. So if you have a restraining order, lady, why are you coming up to her? And then here's the thing. The witness also said, not only did she come up to the school, but the witness also said she walked over. Remember, when she was on the bus, she saw Holly run from her car on the sidewalk and get in front of Romeca's car and start taunting her. But you have a restraining order, but you're supposed to be so damn scared. You're supposed to be fearing for your life. Why would you confront somebody if you fear for your life? If you have a restraining order, if you need to run and go get a darn gun because you can't throw those hands, why would you do any of that? Because this was all premeditated murder. That's why. And I hope the police get it right. And what we all need to do is we all need to call down there and put pressure on the prosecutor's office. Okay, that's what we need to do. And tomorrow, I'm going to get the information and I'm going to give it to you all so everybody can call and put pressure on them because they should not be allowed to get away with this. Romeca was a loving mother. Her son is probably so traumatized not having her around, writing notes for him every day, fixing his lunch and all the things and the videos that I've shown you all of her taking him on different outings and being so attentive to him. That really is going to be so hard for this young child to deal with in the future, having to grow up without his mother. I can't even imagine if that had happened to me when either of my sons were young. This is all so sad, and they need to pay for what they have done. With that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. I think the witness pretty much said it all. As far as I'm concerned, I absolutely believe the witness and not that liar who was sitting up there just trying to paint narratives. The friend of Carlos who claims he didn't know him at first, then he hadn't seen him in 5 years next. And he's got all this so-called information, though he was nowhere on the scene. And then Carlos is saying that he lives out of town and he's saying that he doesn't. It's just all crazy. But what I do know is this. Carlos is the one who gave him those videos of Romeca because who else was recording them? Carlos was recording them. He was recording those videos for proof and evidence. How long has he been planning this? I have several questions. He was recording those videos, okay, for his alibi, in my opinion, just like T. Hood was recording Kelsey after he would beat the crap out of her. And then he'd do something to antagonize or provoke her to anger and then record her when she's going off. It's the same thing that he was doing. Okay, please pay attention. It's not that hard to figure it all out, and I hope the police absolutely do. Okay, so I love you all to life. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and I will see you all in the morning for your morning wake-up call. Oh, hold on, beloveds, before you all run out of here. There was one more video that I had to show you all. Hold on. This was about Charlie Kirk, I think. Hold on. This is why I hate when I have so many receipts and I'm doing multiple stories.
Realistic about Charlie Kirk's wife here for 1 second, okay? Now, I'm not even being ignorant right now. I mean, just look. Okay, does anybody else feel that way? Because look, I'm good at reading people's energy, okay? I'm a hardcore empath. I know exactly who the fuck you are within a couple of seconds of meeting you. And I'm sure there's millions of other individuals that are like that. Some people are aware of it, some people aren't. But watching that speech the entire time, I just couldn't force myself to feel as if it was real or genuine. I mean, how many times can you... I don't know. I cringed on so many occasions during it. And I hate to say that, you know what I mean? I will always mourn the dead. But this just feels different. And I'm sure there's a lot of other people that feel that way. And like I said, I'm not even trying to be ignorant. But baby, who the fuck? And then the fact that you were so willing to give out a speech and then for whatever reason talk about his organization and how you'll never let it be forgotten. That right there just triggers, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just my intuition speaking to me. You gotta listen to your intuition, especially in scenarios like this. I've been hearing a lot of stuff, especially from people that saw the ambulance leaving and the guards taking Charlie. And I just feel like there's a lot more to this. And I would really hope that some people are on the right side of this situation, including Candace Owens. If you know something, you need to let the people know something. You feel me? We all know exactly what's coming. I've been warning everybody of this. I didn't necessarily see it working out in this way, but I want everybody to know that what comes next is something that brings you far outside of your little comfort zone. So at this point, we might as well just have a reset, right? I mean, let's be honest, okay? Unless you want to keep laboring yourselves until the age of retirement on a floating celestial plane, or I'm sorry, a gigantic fucking rock in the middle of basically fucking nowhere. We are laboring ourselves for other humans that bleed the same exact, well, I can't entirely say humans, but for the majority. I'm not necessarily going to feel any type of way because there's so many different scenarios that have been playing through my head, as I'm sure millions of you have been having that happen to you as well. I mean, like I said, in scenarios like this, you have to think outside the box. I hate to be so blunt, so honest, but that speech right there, I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah, it rubbed me the wrong way too. Okay, trust and believe. It sounds like they're planning something. Okay, and like he said, it's going to take you far outside of your comfort zone. Please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, Lock Queen Candy J just asked me if I heard about the lynching at Delta State University. No, I didn't hear about it, but I just Googled it since you put that in the chat. And we will absolutely be talking about this in the morning. Okay, because I had no idea. All right, so with that all being said, I love you all to life. I'll be live at 9:30 in the morning. Make sure you tune in. Even if you don't get a notification, I'll be live at 9:30 in the morning. Y'all know I may be a few minutes late. I'll try to be on time. Okay, so with that all being said, enjoy the rest of this night. I love you all to life. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
Sold all in my skin, God all in my blood.
Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. That's See right. A bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood. Kings all in my circle, you touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got